happy. Maybe we can have a look at some positive vibes. Jacob, pick a positive vibe.
You're cool, or you're all right? Yeah.
If you have money, I am like a jukebox.
Wait. Hold on, Matthew. I love how you just ignored vitality.
It's still up in the air.
It's
also,
okay.
Whenever I talk about vitality, people say, oh, this guy, every time he's on the desk, he talks about vitality. I don't do it once, you put me under the bus.
Listen, there's two teams I want to highlight here. Two teams I want to highlight here. One being these boys right here. Eternal Fire have actually looked like one of the better playing teams. To be 17th right now, nah, no way. They're playing some good, beautiful, solid Counter-Strike. The way they're going up against FaZe Clan as well, almost beating them, almost booking a spot into the Spodek. They came very, very close. So that's the team I want to look out for. And then we have the likes right here, Matthew. We cannot get around it.
Oh,
I think
absolutely.
This has been the best playing team in the tournament so far. They have the best individual right now, and Dunk going off the charts. You have Shiro coming in, and the team play we were discussing about it, me and Yanko yesterday. It's not like it's all the Dunk show. It's actually a well-rounded team. So for Team Spirit right now, they're probably more like up here.
Yeah, it feels like in terms of power ranking, they've played the best Counter-Strike. They've had the best individuals. I want to give a shout out, if I'm allowed, to Rebels Gaming, because I think their story sort of changed throughout this in Katowice. They started as, hey, I'm just happy to be here. Wow, this is the hotel where players are staying. Wow, this is the Holo Heroes. And actually, throughout their games, we started giving them the time of day. We started listening to their stories, seeing them progress, and sort of make a little mark here in Katowice, and I think that deserves some praise.
Yeah, it was impressive that they made it through to the group stage. I do want to draw your attention to two teams that are going to be going head-to-head. Got Mouse, Gamer Legion, guaranteed
let me help.
to have a Polish in-game leader in the Spodek, because one of these two is going to net that today.
I think we got to give some credit to Gamer Legion again. I feel like every single time I turn up to a tournament of a big caliber, they somehow exceed my expectations. I never really recognize them. I never really think, okay, they're going to do well, they're going to qualify, they're going to be a factor in the tournament. They're just going to be here, they're just going to win a map once in a while, but they exceed my expectations every single time. They played some solid Counter-Strike. They don't necessarily have the best individuals on the server, but team play, chemistry, and synergy, that's one strength of this.
I agree with you that they exceeded our expectations, but I don't think we should say sorry. I think it's disingenuous to now stand and be like, wait, actually, no, it makes complete sense. Of course they were going to do it. No, let's appreciate for what it is. They're overperforming compared to what we expected. They're doing way more than what we thought. Good for them. Why would I pretend now that this is, oh, actually, no, it makes a whole lot of sense.
Maybe it's just my conscience, because the problem for me is they've done it 3 times. They've done it at the major, they've done it now here as well. They did it sort of also at Cologne last year. Every single time they turn up to a big tournament, they play better than I expect them to be. So maybe I need to raise my expectations. Maybe I'm stupid.
A guilty conscience.
Yeah, well, it does exist.
He's just trying to
very much
atone. He's atoning here. Where's Trace, so we can have an actual atonement, pure atonement?
I think we need to go back to the drawing board with this, maybe revisit exactly what on earth we were thinking coming into this. So whilst we do that, Harry Hugo, how's it going down in the player booths?
Another day of group stages here at IEM Katowice, and we have Cloud9 and Monte on the line for elimination. It's not just sad news though, playoffs are waiting for one of Gamer Legion Mal's. All that and more at IEM Katowice groups. Isn't that right, Harry?
Did they win? Did they win? Did Eternal Fire win, Hugo?
I'm sorry to break it to you, Harry, but the Turks did fall last night. FaZe are in the Spodek though, and Eternal Fire get another chance.
Another chance? Versus who?
Na'Vi. That will all be coming up later today, don't worry. Get a nap, we'll get ready for Monte Cloud9, and there's all that and more in store here at IEM Katowice.
Colt's gonna jump across. Oh my God!
Fanatic are starting to crumble. What's going on? Nomad's looking. Breaks Snowby's looking to shine the brightest, and he does it. His first grand final. Let's get it on!
Reacts faster, twists. Oh, baby, what is that?
I've heard some good rumors about Boomich. I feel like he's just a nice guy to be around with. I've never seen him be toxic or whatever. He's one of those captains that always believes in his call and his team, whatever the score is, and he tries his best. I feel like he's a very flexible in-game leader. We can see he's taken up the op now in Cloud9.
Cloud9 needed him. I don't think they needed him as an AVP player, but they definitely needed him as the IGL.
Well, from my eyes, not having an opera definitely put some pressure on the team to perform. Every successful team does have a very strong opera. Going against that understanding is interesting, and it's going to be hard to prove, but yeah, it's up to them.
I feel like he came with a storm to the scene. Like he was a fragging IGL with Navi. I feel like he was really good, consistent. I think Boomich is a really good IGL, and I'm excited to see him back in Cloud9. And I think his special strength is his explosiveness is an IGL. His aim, I think he has pretty good aim for an IGL, definitely.
Calling or anything, he was just annoying guy on the server to play against. Like he's always, let's say if Navi was like playing by the book and like doing things in a way that you could anticipate, Boomich was the one, you know, going out far left and doing things you wouldn't expect from a team like Navi, like pushing with MP9 or like, I don't know, pushing with like shotgun or some crazy stuff. But I think like Boomich was this like kind of like X factor that could win them really crazy rounds and turn some crazy games.
Cloud9 now in an elimination matchup going against Monte. But Groove, I've got to touch on the Mouse game there, especially Ancient, because it looked like there was a lot of chaos and frustration. How did you view it? What was the frustrations?
So I think if we just have a look at our yesterday's match versus Mouse, the first map, it was our map. Yep. It was for us. The second map, their peak was just for them, obviously. But Ancient, it was, I told it before the match that it will be 50-50 map, and okay. We didn't win some crucial rounds, especially the rounds versus force buys, 2 last rounds. So, and that is why we go to the overtime, and when you play third map at overtimes, it's always about the nerves, so it's always about the huge mistakes. I just saw a lot of missed grenades.
Feel confident more for today, though? Monte, a team you understand?
Yeah.
There we go. Easy words, quick answers. Let's see if they get it done on the server.
Welcome to Intel Extreme Masters Katowice, and it is the B stream today, and we're kick-starting with an elimination game. Monte up against Cloud9, and as we stand in the Hall of Heroes, there are iconic names on the walls, faces that we love, moments that we've all shared together watching Counter-Strike. Some of the players that you are going to see in Cloud9 are already on the wall. If you don't understand why there is so much noise around this team, we're going to break it down. I'm going to be your host for this game, and helping me break it down is Maui, Snake, and Steel. I don't even have funny quips for them. I want to jump straight into this. Let's walk through the history of these players in Cloud9 and why we hold them to such high regard, Maui.
Well, we have a couple of guys that, like you said, line the wall. We see Axile over there. We see Electronic over there. The fact is that they've won previous Katowicas, and also there are 4 major winners on Cloud9. You go to Hobbit, you go to Perfecto. They also could have had their names on these walls too. The thing is that they are against a pretty big underdog right now in Monte, but it's for an elimination game. And there's a lot of tension between both of these teams. They played each other so many different times in their Eastern European competitions, and so they're very familiar with each other, and that's why the stakes are incredibly high.
Still, Electronic on our screens right now. This is his opportunity to not just be the sidekick, right? Cloud9 was meant to be his chance to shine and say, hey, pay attention to me as well.
Yeah, definitely. I come from a time of Simple supremacy, basically. So when we see Electronic kind of stepping away from the shadow of Simple, the little bro of Simple, and he's able to take the spotlight again and return to his former glory, that's always nice to see. And he's putting up those numbers on Cloud9 right now for them.
You can see them on your screens there, the opportunities to win, but also the despair as they find themselves in an elimination game. They may not be able to make it to the Spodek. They may not be able to make it to playoffs, especially obviously if they lose this game. And it's going to bring us to the conversation that everyone's been having. You saw some of the pros weighing in as well. This whole concept of Cloud9 doesn't have an AWPer. We know this. Everyone has said and has weighed in that without an AWP, they have a problem. We know this. The team has said they're not getting an AWP anytime soon, so we know this as well. So my question to you, gents, is what the hell do they do? Because they're not going to be able to change the situation. They got to work with the tools they have. How do they build something fantastic?
Well, the style that they've been playing has actually mitigated some of the lack of the AWP, that is. We are obviously, though, looking at the fact that, yeah, the AWP changes hands. So, yes, they don't have a primary AWPer, but they have a certain player per every map who's picking that weapon up. So we can see that it's to varied effect, obviously. Boomich doing very well for himself on Overpass, Hobbit being pretty good at Nuke himself, but then they seem to have these kind of weaker maps, and it's very obvious, actually, when you look at this, like Inferno, Ancient, Anubis, there really isn't a significant AWP presence for them, but that's why actually this Cloud9 team has been throwing out more in terms of active, aggressive rifle plays. They're trying to set their riflers up to try to find opening picks. Sometimes that is to their detriment. Sometimes they're walking right into a setup that the opponents are ready for, but they do feel like they have to force their hand at times because they can't rely on the big green's presence.
So we obviously saw still Cloud9, the coach, chatting a little bit about what happened against Mouse yesterday. It went to a third map, went to like a gazillion overtimes, but they still weren't able to see it through. It's why they found themselves in the lower bracket. Do you think it is just the fact that they don't have an AWP, or is there more that Cloud9 needs to work on?
I mean, it's never just one thing in a team. Usually, like, there'll be things that stand up or take priority, or you know, a bigger thing, a bigger deal. But it's, at the end of the day, you need to be a well-rounded team with a lot of depth. And if you're missing one part, usually that's not what's going to break you. What we saw is just, you know, so many things that, like the smallest of margins. That's what the coach is saying. You're going into a third map. It's going to be a 50-50 map, and we need to win just like one different round. I mean, we'd be sitting here having this conversation about mouse sports right now, right? Yeah. If Perfecto in that 1 versus 1 sits behind the pillar for one more second, doesn't try to like swing out, we'd be having a completely different conversation. We wouldn't be talking about this AWP thing as big a deal as it is right now. So, you know, it's high-level Counter-Strike. Things happen, and not everything goes your way, and you just have to do the best you can with what you've got.
They're not doing the best they can with what they've got, though, Maui.
Well,
I mean, maybe
they could be. They could be.
All right, they could, but so far I haven't seen it. That's what I'm saying.
It does seem like it's a problem for some of the more idealistic coaches in this space. I would probably consider Groove to be one of them, probably people like Blade as well, where they see a problem and they think, well, we can still extract a little bit more out of every player, and I think it is kind of what Steele's saying too. You know, you look at Cloud9, and I think sometimes their mid-rounding isn't always the cleanest. I think sometimes the calls out of spawn are a little bit too simplistic. When you have such veteran, savvy players, you don't really always need to do what they did in overtime against Mouse, which is they did so many just A execs out of spawn, B execs out of spawn. It's like, come on, you can actually slow the round down for yourselves a little bit, and I feel like that's probably something they went back to the drawing board today and say, why is it when we hit overtime, half of our strats were just execs out of spawn? Like, use the fact that you're actually pretty good at mid-rounding sometimes.
That's Cloud9, but on the side of the other side that they have to play against, what the hell was that? Even I don't know. It is Monte, and yesterday they did not show up. We didn't have a chance to see them in the play-ins. We've only seen them in the group stages. We only saw them in one game yesterday, and by saw them, I mean we saw them do very little. Banks caught up with them, though, to find out how they're feeling and what they've potentially changed coming into today.
Monte will certainly need to get off to a hotter start than we saw yesterday. But when I'm talking about a hot start, it did start hot start on one side of the map, mate, and then afterwards it became problematic. But I want to ask, was it more down to you guys, or was GL playing very well? Were they difficult for you?
It's definitely down to us, because how you know Monte? You know Monte is a grinders, right? A lot of matches, a lot of maps, a lot of stuff happening and stuff. And this season, it was first time for this team where they actually entered the season as a tier 1 team where you didn't play anything before, and it was only practice, and obviously practice don't give you all the answers. Where are you at? Which form you at? What's your best maps? What's your worst maps? And stuff like this, right? And what works, what's not. Usually we was checking it in the matches, right? Yeah. This season we started off that we couldn't play those matches. At least last season we had a play-in before Cologne. And actually, that's a complete deja vu, because we played against GL first match in ESL Cologne, we won it, then we lost the match, and then we played Cloud9. So
going round again.
Yeah, that's exactly this way, and yeah, it's down to us. We need to kind of find out the season groove. Yeah, that's what needs to be done, and that can be done only with the tournaments and only with the wins and losses and stuff. That, like, those answers you can't get on practice.
Well, the loss did happen yesterday, so the win needs to happen today, otherwise elimination match. What did the team talk last night look like? What did you say to them?
Well, nothing special. You know, we've been in these situations like forever, and we'll start from EPL story, I guess. We lost 2 matches there. It's a triple elimination there, obviously. So we told ourselves exactly the same thing. It's just playoff started a bit earlier, you know, and that's how it is. It's like 1-32,
yep.
round of 32 or whatever is it, or 16. So nothing special happened. Just best of 3 players all the way. From this moment, and that's it. It's not like you can change something significant in one night.
No.
So we'll see how it goes.
But what do you make of how Cloud9 play and their style of play right now? Obviously, the lack of AWPer as well coming in there. Does this make it easier for you?
Not quite, to be honest. In CS2, that doesn't affect everything so much. It affects, obviously, on some certain maps, but on some maps, it doesn't affect them so much. And they're playing a lot of freestyle. They're playing very confident CS. That's what we lack right now, because we didn't play matches and we didn't have a chance to get this confidence from, right? So that's their basically only advantage, that they played some matches this season, they lost some, they win some, whatever, and we didn't, obviously. And I didn't say anything special or anything changed from like CSGO patterns or their CS2 game right now. They're playing what they like to do and what they're confident in.
Well, let's see if his confidence is going to work out today against Cloud9. Let's see if Monte will be able to grab that win.
Interesting thoughts there on the no AWP situation, but more importantly, touching on something that I think a lot of Monte fans are going to be concerned about, Maui, and it is the fact that they haven't really played much this year.
Before their match yesterday against Gamer Legion, the last time they played was 7 weeks ago. So that's a bit much, especially when people are used to what made Monte such a heartthrob story when it came to the Blast Paris Major, because at that event, they had played more maps than everybody in the 3 months leading up to it. You can see right here, yeah, it's not even practice makes perfect for Monte, it's officials make perfect. When they entered that Paris Major, 140 maps played in the 3 months leading up to it, and now for IEM Katowice, 23. Like that's a completely different feeling when they're coming into this tournament.
Yeah, I would say I saw that, I guess the effects of that as well. In their match yesterday, it looked like on their CT sides, they had a really good thing going for them. They were playing really well together, especially after they got the first pick, but it was their T sides that were lacking depth. And maybe you get the depth through more practice, more officials, I guess, in this regard, and just being able to grind out games in a more explosive manner. It looked like they had 2 different things that they had. They had the slow default spread around on their T sides on their gun rounds, and then on their ecos is when they would be like maybe run it down, stand it sometimes, but we never saw kind of like a mix of the 2, where they would start with like a spread default, get some sort of map control, and end with an explosive hit.
I actually really want to bring that up because what you mentioned with kind of on their eco rounds, where they would just buy 5 deagles and maybe 1 flash sometimes, it's like, come on, so many of the teams here actually are going Tech9, they're buying smoke, flash, and it really is kind of like, you're not really saving more money by just buying a deagle and armor instead. And so, but the teams that are buying the Tech9s, especially in CS2, I found to be so strong. Like, so many explosive pistol plays onto bomb sites once they get map control are so much more effective in this game because, to be honest, people just aren't as good as spraying in this game. That's a big thing too.
Getting used to time in the game in officials is so important, and they haven't used it as an excuse. They haven't brought it up, but we do know that Monte is struggling at the moment with a lot of their players based in Ukraine and the war, that they cannot get to boot camp. I think it takes them like 2 days to get out of there just to get to tournaments like this. So there is a lot of those outside factors, but as Janko would say yesterday, no excuses. You got to play a game. They've got to perform. Can they, though? And as the veto comes up, I'm curious how either of you are feeling about this and how you think it's going to play out for Monte.
I'm feeling an overpass pick out of Cloud9. I think they're going to be able to look at Gamer Legion's footage yesterday and how they dismantled Monte, and so that would be kind of my expected pick out of them. And yeah, Cloud9, they've just been loving that map, and okay, Mirage for Monte.
Maybe Anubis or Ancient as the 3rd map as well. It looked like they had a lot of overlap with their map pool, where it's just like you look through their map list, it's like Overpass, Mirage, Anubis, Ancient, Overpass, Mirage, and Ancient, Anubis. It's the same thing over and over on repeat.
How much do you think it's sticking in the heads, though, of Monte? Because this is a team that has to grind through all of these events, right? And they need to make sure that they get as far as they possibly can. They had that loss yesterday. If they lose now, they are out. That is not a good start to your year.
Oh, yeah, and the thing is that Monte, because they're not part of the partner system, aren't going to be playing all those partnered events and everything like that. So it's important that they look back at yesterday's footage and wonder to themselves, hey, we're going into Overpass again. We got our asses kicked by Gamer Legion once we switched that T side. We need to actually come together and figure some things out, because the CT side was fine for them, and I feel like Cloud9, the reason they went for this, they want to just take them out of the tournament. They want to send Monte home.
Really quick, Steel, is it going to be the Legends that are going to continue to keep themselves going in the group stages, or are Monte going to be able to knock them out of the Hall of Heroes?
I think we're going to go to the distance on the third map here, but Cloud9 should be able to take this. I'm hopeful for Monte to be able to overcome their overpass problems from yesterday, leveraging that good CT side to make sure that they can overcome their not so good T side. But I mean, it's a good map pool for both these teams. We could see anything happen here.
We're going to be in for a banger. That's what they're trying to say. We're getting into our first elimination game here on the B stream, and who better than to take us into game? It's Harry and Hugo.
Yeah, thank you very much. Monte taking on Cloud9 in an elim matchup. Monte yesterday only able to field 3 T-side rounds across the series. So getting off to a good start here is going to prove to be paramount for this Monte squad. On the other side of things, you have this Cloud9 team that have had glimmers of promise, but you're always left wanting a little bit more, I felt like, from Cloud9 throughout this. And this is where I really want to see Waro on the side of Monte come into his own, because one of the big problems for Cloud9 has been this lack of the dedicated AWP, right? So hopefully this is going to give Waro a little more freedom. You saw him very keen to get involved in fights yesterday, but wasn't able to win a lot of them. It's going to be a fast B-pop to open up for Cloud9.
Yeah, they established some control in combo. It's all 5 out B at the end of the day, and not many players here to stop them. Double entry from Axile, and in a round like this, that should seal the deal. Bomb goes down, and Monte, with no kit currently, have to fight up against 5 players in the site. Boost comes up for Sumdai Young, desperately looking for a pick back in, but they're not giving him anything. Boomich is right below. Oh, don't know if he even got the spot there either. Axel can swing on this contact. He's got Julies after the opening kills, and Boomish is good for his. Everyone falls in an instant. I like that you establish Waro as a player to look out for in this game. I definitely agree. When we look at the last time Monte took Cloud9 on, it was at Cologne, it was in group stage, and it was also an elimination game. Cloud9 2-0'd. But you know what was different there, Harry? Cloud9 had an AWPer. Shiro topped the series, 1.6 rating, and it was him v Waro in those head-to-heads so often. So with Cloud9 having their current lack of dedicated sniper player, we even saw Axar winning rounds with it yesterday over Mouse, I think this may be a little harder. Question, of course, as the desk poised, is what form do Monte bring in today? Because yesterday was nothing short of underwhelming.
Yeah, Sumdai Young at least looked good in the series, I guess you could say. You know, there wasn't really a whole lot of positives to go off of for Monte. Nope. And so I hope he can start strong now. He's got this scout in the 4-spy round for Monte. Even forcing in this second on the CT side, something that you don't see a lot of teams do.
I like that. It's confident. It's a good map for it. And of course, it delays your gun round, but it means you can get the AWP in your first full buy as long as Warrior saves for it. We'll have to see if they can find any success, though. Scout is so powerful on the A site. Sumdai Young looking for picks. He's already hit a tag. The Cloud9 are pretty spread. 3 CTs here, as there were in the pistol. But this time looking a little better off. Cloud9 are coming their way.
Sumdai Young already lands a tag from this scout, and now chance to do a little bit more as he spots players aggressing through the long side. It's going to be Waro's Deagle delivering this kill to Monte to open up, but it's swiftly traded out from Hobbit. Boomich takes it one step further. 5-7 in the toilet's going to get overrun here, and Axel will kind of rein them back in. Cloud9 secure that one. They deal with the 4-spy, only losing a handful of players, and so for Monte, the full eco to follow. But it does seem, you know, you mentioned it last round, you're dead on. The priority is on bringing out this AWP as fast as they can.
Yeah. I think the second round force is also map dependent. It's also, you know, if you have a play you want to make, or this isn't the best map for making a play. I'd say like an ancient CT side where you could gamble towards B and play an aggressive mid round would be nice. But overpass, it's more just hoping the scout can light up C9 and the pistols can finish it off. Sundayoung hits a bunch of tags, but they're not all converted. So Eco coming through, STY with Zeus. But for the most part, it's going to be Hobbit making it rain. Dollar bills down in connector. Easy done for C9.
I just want the Zeus kill. That's what we're all here for now in this round.
Moro setting STY up for it, but Cloud9 are already out into B. They're going to bring that bomb. And sorry, Harry.
Well, I don't know. Hobbit, you know, he's making a prime candidate for a Zeusing right now. That's all I'm going to say. No, believe Sundayoung. Believe in the Zeus.
Ooh, yes. There's a world.
He's a little too far, and he fires it way too soon.
Yeah.
They are still going to find Hobbit over here in connector. Warrow
making that all money.
10 now, yeah.
He gets a kill with this, massive. He can already buy it, but this would just make it even more juicy. Making it sound like he's running up and saving. And I think, unfortunately, he might miss everyone.
Hang on. Electronic is a prime Mac 10 candidate here.
Yeah, you've done this before.
Axile's now holding onto the ladder, and Warrow won't be able to move. So we'll just be this Mac 10 held out of the round for Monte.
Surprisingly passive, considering we expect that orb ASAP. Yeah, doesn't even go swinging. But I don't think he's going to play it, to be perfectly honest. He's going to give it over instead. Cloud9, good start to the game here. We talked T-sides for Monte, 3 yesterday, 0 on this map. They went 9-0 down when they're on the second half T-side and lost the game to Gamer Legion 2-0. They got 3 on Ancient, and 1 was a full anti-eco after winning Pistol. So...
yeah, and I think the thing that makes it even more worrisome is like yesterday down towards that B side, Demka and Bro were fantastic, right? So it's even that's a bit of a question. Are you going to get the same level out of those 2 players down towards B? Sundayoung over here in middle, and he will get cut down by Cloud9 as they move out through that mid smoke. Warrow posted on the AWP. We said he was kind of our guy to keep an eye on here. So let's see if he can find anything. A missed shot from that AWP, and it's already gone. They kind of put a lot of stock in bringing that out early. And with the first shot just sailing past Cloud9, they sit in a 5v2. Surely no hope for Monte here.
Still Cloud9 hold on. I love this. They're just trying to keep this dominant and clean. And they'll wait to see if Monte make any plays. Info nade does nothing. The benefit of Krasnal doing this and actually playing the save Mac 10 is he could drop an AWP over, you know, if you want to look to the future. Oh, the 10 damage thing.
Yeah, that's crazy, bro.
That hurts for Bro. Yeah, that is crazy, bro. I gotta go back down B. They've seen 1 player. In these situations where, if you're Cloud9, you're in a 5v2, and you see 1 player, it's always logically better to go to the other site because there could be 2 players, but there's definitely not 0.
Yeah. Well, that's a mind melter, that one.
That is, isn't it? You know, worst case scenario on B is 5v1. Worst case scenario on A is 5v2.
Yeah,
take those better odds.
That's a nice
better way to word
it.
Yeah. Run away from bad men. Scary. Cloud9 avoid the fear on that A site. And Bro will get the orb. That's something. Put it to use. But Cloud9, I mean, you talk T-sides, we mentioned Monte's lack thereof.
Yeah, I'm already
Cloud9,
nervous.
7 rounds over past T-side against Mouse yesterday. Sure, their map pick for a reason. Great track record on this map. If you think, you know, yeah, I think this is going to be a very hard map for Monte. I think Mirage has to save them. But at least I hope we get some of that Demka madness from the B-bomb site yesterday.
Yeah, you know, I think something even LMBT spoke about was how the lack of T-side rounds like just got in Monte's head a bit, right? It very much affected them heading into the second map yesterday. And I mean, that was apparent, right? They got 3 T-side rounds across the series. So you don't want a slow start here, especially not on the side you know you have to deliver on, with the hardest side coming up next, with one that you've struggled on. throughout your time in Katowice. So this full buy is facilitated thanks to the save, and Waro gets his hands back on that AWP, but no love to be found with it over in middle. It looks like Monte gonna have to be ready to withstand this fast B play. Electronic at the helm. We've seen some monstrous entries from this guy, but he's cut down, getting nothing done. Instead, it's Boomich's molly to burn out one. Bro withstands it from the short side. Now he's all that remains from this B hold, but here's the rotate. The AWP teed up in heaven, a missed shot from it, and Axar's been allowed to pick that up, but they just keep chasing him down. They flood through the heavens, and Monte will put a stop to Cloud9's fast B.
I do like that execute for Cloud9. I'm glad they went for it early in the game just to flex on Monte. The cool detail is that HE grenade they throw at the front. They know Demko's going to be playing close wood or Monster trying to fight for it, and that close nade on wood forces him to reposition the pillar, which they have molly. So the fact that Demka gets one kill when two pieces of util are designed just for him is very impressive. Waro comes through the smoke as well, and Monte just throw themselves at that B hit. They will hold on. A very important first round to Monte to not get steamrolled on CT overpass. Nothing worse than losing pistol on CT. You want to maximize rounds on one of the best halves in Counter-Strike right now.
A fake dink for Axar, and he tries chasing that kill down over at long, which baits him into Sumdai Young. However, Sumdai Young's getting wrapped through the toilets, and so Boomich is able to flush him out.
The orb's gone back around to facilitate a heavy B play.
Ooh, the timing on this.
Oh, yeah. They're going to check? No, they're not. Oh. They're not. Good trade. Could have gone a lot worse. Krasnau is still activated for a fast flank, but they should be aware because of the short water take. Hobbit, eyes on the prize, but he drops. Doesn't need to play. Krasnau can just hold and contain. Waro has his fallback through toilets, but even he's scared of the long side. There are timings open. Can Cloud9 find them?
He's about to not have to worry about it, thankfully. Bro's on his way up, down from B, and so that will turn his attention back into the toilets just in time.
Oh, don't... Yeah.
Cloud9 trying to move up through short, but that's where the AWP resides. Another missed shot from Wario 2K. Seeing the AWP there certainly makes it a little scarier, but looks like they do want to try and challenge him. He plays up close to the smoke. Bro here inside of the site to help him, and that AWP just a big decoy to pull the attention away from Bro inside of the site, who puts up 3. Monte breathing a bit of a sigh of relief here as they kind of find their footing on the CT side. Now chaining 2 together. And with that, looking to take a bit of momentum in the game, right? I know these have been, or at least had, some awkward moments in them, such as not clearing the sandbags here at short, some missed shots from Waro, but they are finding them, and the setups are nice to kind of get them there in the first place. They're just one round away from breaking the money at Cloud9, and so suddenly you could be looking at a tie game.
And they're stuck behind the mid-smoke again. Waro playing an aggressive line, going to get mollied out early. Cloud9, after doing that, want to go straight back to B. They've got a huge gap here. There's only 2 players at the B bomb site. Bro's taking space. It's all on Demka again. How good does this execute look? It's not even an execute. They are contact right now. Heaven smoke and a flash is all that supplements this. Demka needs something in the site.
Oh yeah, gonna hold on for the first, but the flashes wreck him. That's a CS2 peek out of Hobbit, if ever you've seen one. Full running, Galil spray down. Bro with the backstab, but he's being accounted for. Another man up through short, and Monte just flood this B site just like last time. Everyone's here so quickly, and now it is only Hobbit left standing. He was running and gunning to open this up. And Waro is aware of this backstab timing. He should have this on the AWP as Hobbit sneaks around the corner. That's nice and easy for Waro 2K. And with that round going dominantly the way of Monte, now things are called into question here for Cloud9's T side. That money extinguishes, it vaporizes. We said it was done if they didn't win this round, and with not even a plant to be found here, they will be staring down at these bank accounts in dismay. There's nothing for them. And so this should be Monte looking to tie the game up here and now. Attack timeout called in for Cloud9. They don't want to let Monte build up a CT side that they can be happy with, especially not after how this started, right? You win the pistol, you win that first rifle round. Even up against the save guns, you find some success there as well, but aren't quite able to take it over the line. You thought like you were going to get straight back to your winning ways, but Monte have got some fight in them here.
Yeah, I imagine we'll see some more A-hits for Cloud9, right? Because Warrior so far has been mostly missing. Not a huge threat so far, and Cloud9's util has been pretty solid on this T side. B holds are nice for Monte, though, so Cloud9 will have to try something new. The Eagles are out now in this round. Some bits, some bobs, and everything in between for Cloud9. And they'll take it low and slow. It's been pretty calculated. Not in a hurry on this A site. Happy to leave it down to the final 20, 30 seconds. SDY and Toilets. Krasnal tied to Warrow, patrolling Banana. Warrow's got to be careful, because they will stay tight, trying to trade these kills.
Warrow's going to hit a flick here. Oh, he's seen the shadow. Ah, now he's seen an elbow. They've given him too much. First the shadow, then the arm. And now maybe the head of the beast to Cloud9 here. Oh god, the flashes will wreck him. Boomich nicely tees up his teammates there with the pistols, but the mowdown is swift. Monte with the reply. And Warrior's death there not in vain, as everyone else is able to capitalize on those Cloud9 players caught out chasing that kill down. So kept nice and clean, and the dangers of that round avoided. It's now a tie game as Monte put their own 4-round streak on the board.
Yeah.
And each one of them feeling like it's getting progressively cleaner. They built up a good bit of money with only 2 kills being found across the last 2 rounds for Cloud9. This is nice for the Monte CT side.
Very impressive recovery. And Cloud9 are going to have to dig deep. They don't call in a timeout. They go right back in. They have their plan in mind. We'll have to see how they fare. Connect to take. Krasnal's been in here a lot of the time playing late round, so Cloud9 want to clear that out and get info early. Monte with a pre-boost. It's a lot of damage both ways. Perfecto gets out worse for wear. No AWP to bog down him with. Or maybe to bog him down with. Cloud9 stick to flat rifles, as they do on really all T sides as well. We only see CT AWPs from this team. Warrow, talking of which, is going to find that pick as Hobbit tries to clamber up connector, and a mid fake for Boomich into a B hit. Right now the numbers are looking good, but Bro has an informational position. The smoke comes down, he loses that info, and so Warrow is the sole defender of B. Cloud9 don't like what they hear. They pull back into the stack.
Yeah, the little double push out through long is coming in for Monte and Krasnal.
He saw him there, surely.
He got a little whiff of Boomich moving up through short. SDY, good position here, this long aggro. Ooh, he swings it wide, and that's going to give over the kill to Electronic. This A play looks tempting, but Monte still stacked up in this side of the map.
Dear.
Awkward routing for Warrow 2K, and so now this site hold's got to fall to the 2 long players. Krasnal lights them up. The nade finishes off the 1 HP Perfecto, and they're never ready for Demka. He's often the guy left anchoring down towards B alongside Bro. When you see him already set up over towards long, you know that Monte just kind of outread you there, right?
Yeah.
The fact he's even up on that top site, let alone in such an aggressive position, push down the long side.
Krasnal caught them off guard, let alone the 4th player on A. That's such a nice gamble for Monte. Sure, Bro has a position where, you know, Monte are able to make an A stack, but when he smokes himself off at Monster Tunnel, or Short Tunnel rather, he doesn't know whether Cloud9 are going for Monster. They almost did. They almost just walked into MTB, and instead they go into the 4 stack on A. Great read from Monte. Cloud9 getting pissed. They're going through the molly.
Yeah, it's another good read here as they stack heavy down towards this B site. They anticipate that Cloud9 want a bit of vengeance on this B play. Nades rain out from the heavens, and that is a lovely nade. Lobbed in from Warrior 2K, and it's done so much damage. More util follows up. Molly even on that bomb plant. Cloud9 duck out of the site.
Reasonable escape, to be honest. But it might be hard getting blood from this stone. a 3-on-3. It's all on electronic, but he has had some fantastic games here in Katowice. He's dead immediately. Rifles will be removed here for Cloud9. It's only the pistol on Perfecto, and not for long. Warrow's warm, and Cloud9 may be in trouble here as we get to the dying stages of their T side. Huge deciding rounds for Monte as they pick up steam. The comms are looking good, the rotates are nice. The B holds have been very well done.
Yeah, I think you can really feel that Monte's like read of the game is kind of eased into the server now. They're feeling like they know what Cloud9 are doing from the A stack in the round prior, followed up by the immediate B stack. That anticipation that Cloud9 were going to go back to a fast B hit. This is one where Cloud9 look like they kind of want to go back to it, right? And they're accounting on the fact that Monte just stacked here. There's no way they do it twice, and they're looking right in that assumption.
Whoa,
Bro has to hold on, and Bro will. Look at that. 3 clean kills. The M4A4 does him well there.
Spraying into headshots as well. The Des are talking about the difficulties players have had with sprays, and there's no doubt about that. It has been harder to connect on CS2, but Bro just nails them. What a hold. Don't even need this stack. It's still here. With the bomb at their feet, there is no saving this.
That's the real kind of... That's the real beauty of it, right? Cloud9, they were dead on in that Monte wouldn't stack this low as sight. It was 2 players who had to do it all. And Bro gets it done basically single-handedly. Look at that, just a pile of them as they moved out through Monster. He says, yeah, do that again, please. I want a couple more kills, up 12 and 4, sitting top of the server.
That's why Monte is a fun team when they're firing, because I feel like so many of these players can pop off, right? You've all seen the Warrow carry games, but we know Sumdayoung is the calm, experienced player of the team. Bro, the opposite, inexperienced, loud, but also can just have these crazy pop-off games like Krasnal. And Demka's CT anchoring is solid as well. Gotta go swinging, getting a bit hungry here. Perfecto's patiently waiting, but he can buy even if he dies. They've got max loss. May as well give it a go. And Monte will meet him there. 7-4, a big streak.
7 in a row.
Yes, maybe 8. Cloud9 are going to have everything they need except the AWP. And even then, the util won't be perfect.
Yeah, this is exactly what Monte needed, right? Like, there was a world that kind of felt like anything less than this, and you could have made the argument that Monte were in trouble, because we've seen the T sides look so flat. And when they start this whole game 0-4 down, I was really worried for them, but they've dug deep, and they found their footing, and you've certainly seen improvements just across the board, whether that's Bro anchoring down towards B, Warrow's just kind of read over the game right now has improved, and he started nailing a few more shots on the AWP, so the momentum is very much changed up here. While it was a real hot start for Cloud9, it's now gone completely silent.
Oh, it's messy, and a second swing comes out. It's actually Bro who gets the kill through the smoke.
Even trying to like punish the spam there, you know, that's a desperate play from Hobbit. And desperate times calling for desperate measures, but Cloud9, that leaves them a man down now.
Long pop, they'll avoid the AWP here, but the flashes make it very clear where the goal is for Cloud9. They're hoping they get a flank in middle, but Monte aren't that aggressive. They just rotate heavy up. And again, Monte's rotates, their reads have been really good in this game. It's enforced by Bro having you know, a strong position down at B that Monte can play all on top site. And with a double AWP as well. It's going to get worse before it gets better for Cloud9. This might be an 8-round streak at the end of the half.
Sumdayoung scoped in, nails that shot onto Electronic, and now they're ready for the long hit. Demka even playing around the dice box as that kind of third man over towards the top site. He'll swing out, he'll deal with Axile, and it's only Perfecto left. Try as he might, there's no success to be found here. He's wrapped upon and locked out by the Warrow 2K AWP. It's 8 rounds in a row on the CT side from Monte. Waro2k steps up from a slow start. He regains control over this game and over the AWP, assisting Monte to an 8-4 scoreline. All 8 rounds coming consecutively as well. They follow up from that initial 4-0 start that Cloud9 embarked on, and they don't let them get any more T rounds across the remainder of the half. However, Monte, they are kind of experts in not getting any more T rounds in the remainder of the half. So let's see how this one fares. If they could start strong with a pistol round win, this one is right there for the taking.
Absolutely.
It would tee them up all of a sudden to really just lay all these worries to rest of the weak T-sides from yesterday.
Absolutely. There are big questions to be answered in this half because they got 8 rounds CT against Gamer Legion and then 0 in the second. So what can Monte give us here? Nice start for Waro. He is warmed up now and he's putting that aim to use. Finding Boomich in the toilet.
Oh, damn kid.
See ya.
Sorry, bud.
Now this is interesting because now you might over-rotate A if you're Cloud9 thinking that that's a B lurker, they're going for an A hit, but Monte are actually regrouping back a monster. So Cloud9 active in the mid-round, they take some control, and we're going to see Waro try and fake out A site. Oh, he's got a beautiful play here, but he's not going to clear the corner, and Axel finds him. Lurks on lurks, fakes on fakes, but it's into B when Cloud9 wait.
Yeah, double setup over at short. This one could get cleaned up by the Cloud9 dual Berettas on Electronic. They move into the site. He's going to start spamming away. Little wider on the plant, and so it will come in. Bro gets that bomb down. A man down, though, in the post plant, and they're desperately looking for space. They get past Axel, so that space is secured over at CT. Electronic falls. Some die young out of the round now as well, and it's just Krasnal left in it. 1v2. Fought for this control over towards CT. That tap on the bomb. He goes looking for the player through the heavens. And Hobbit will be there to deal with him. So a pistol secured for Cloud9. That huge lifeline, that massive opportunity that Monte had doesn't go their way, but the bomb plant at least lets them bring the heat early on.
They absolutely, the call there was the plant, right? That was a prioritization for Monte. They could have definitely gone for fights in B, but instead they get the smoke on site, and the goal is make the money. At worst case, we want to buy Galil's round 2 and try and upset Cloud9. We don't want to be left with full eco, lost pistol, nothing to show for it. So, you know, it's not a win for Monte, but it's the next best thing. It's a second round buy.
Yeah, it's a lifeline early on this T side. They still have that route open to take control of the economy game, and that's what they're looking for. Ooh, Boomich. Come on now, buddy. He runs into the wall there, slows him down for a second. He can't get back into the site as a result. And right now, they've got him pinned in the toilets. They've wrapped all around him, but he still offers up a kill. Boomich is a thorn in their side right now, just roaming through the back lines. They thought that they had him trapped in there. But he's not trapped in here with them. They're trapped in here with him as he shows up with that double kill off the MP9, and he still keeps this wild routing going, but this time it's heard. Waro2k says hello, bye-bye, and Boomich is dead at 2v2. Bomb down over in the toilets, and a bit more aggression from Cloud9.
Oh, under the lip of the smoke. I don't think Bro got that spot. He's remaining vigilant, but Electronic in position now to win the round, and Waro, he's on the scout, but he's 10 health. There should be no way out of this one. He doesn't even take the M4. He needs that instant TTK. Is anyone going to give him the head? Smoke and a save? 20 seconds. The fact that he's even going for this is optimistic, and Electronic has swapped sides of the toilet. That's a good check for Waro, but he's not going to win the round. Perfecto right there to trade. That was a damn nice try, but you know what's problematic now, Harry?
What's that?
We might enter another Monte struggle streak.
Well, yeah, you know, I mean, I got to say,
it's all the makings of a Cloud9 comeback.
Yeah, no, that is very true. And
the opportunity to exploit early in the half is gone, and you have to rely on having consistent rifle round wins, which is something that we can't say we've seen from Monte.
Yeah, I gotta say as well, fantastic round from Boomich. He, like, considering, you know, the whole idea of getting him trapped in that little box was like, yeah, that's our opener right there. You know, we kind of secured the early man advantage, and so instead of kind of, you know, just going for the one and done, taking a swing back into the site, he actually roots aggressively and tries to fight Monte head on.
I love this though for Monte. It's so risky, but it's them understanding the dilemma that they're in, and actually Cloud9's buy, while it has way more util, it has less rifles, so there is the argument to be made that it's weaker, and the Monte have a little bit more loss bonus. You know, it's dangerous, but Monte, they're used to it, man. This is a team that can be very aggressive, that can be very in your face, and so they're risking it all on another force here after making it a 1v1. I admire it, if nothing else.
I mean, the T-side from Monte yesterday on this map was like very exec heavy. It was a lot of just kind of grouping as 5 for the most part, roaming the map as a pack, and then trying to exec into a bomb site. So for Cloud9, they've got to try and piece together where Monte aren't, right? That's the goal here.
They don't know yet.
They're about to figure it out. They're going to take this short control away.
Getting very close on this A site, and you've got Boomich on MP9 jump spotting. The info's there now. They've heard guns fire off. They know Monte at board, so that third rotate's coming in.
And this is, I think, one of the sort of problems that Monte are going to run into. Once you've heard a couple of these guns fire off, you know that, like, right now, you know Monte want to go A. You've got short down towards B. Yeah. You still have 2 players there holding on, but they don't leave a lot to the imagination in these execs.
Just got to win the fights, man. Simple as that. Smoke, molly, and in they go. 20 seconds. Well, they don't have a flash to do this either.
Yeah, this is wild, man. They've just got a straight up gunfight their way in. Axel turns from a flash that was never going to arrive. Boomich's MP9 is trying to do it again. He's in here with the bomb planter, tries pulling the knife. He gets a little help from another MP9. Boomich is still in this smoke. He is still in the site. Oh, they line up. And it's even the tag to Electronic. 1v1 now. Bro peeks it wide and is given a chance to duck out of there. Tap on the bomb again. Bro has to kind of swing this to check for that defuse. And Electronic is just playing the mind games, but it's Bro to close it out. 3 kills from the man. A hat trick in the round, and he is still delivering from that CT side. And I think that could be one of the big differences here, right? When we had Demka with a really good start on this map yesterday, he went silent when they got onto the T side. Oftentimes somebody gets a bit more activated in those post plants, but for Bro, that's a huge round to have put up. Not just a 3K, but a critical 1v1, and over Electronic on the other side. Not an easy man to beat in those clutches by a long margin.
That was a very entertaining round, right? For Axel to be turned from a flash, and they don't even have a flash. It's so funny. And it was the one rifle. Boomich being a hero right now. That's back-to-back monstrous rounds, but it's still not enough.
This is the reward, right? This is the reward that Monte were waiting for. This is the reason they went for the back-to-back 4 spies here, was to just get ahead of the money, break it early.
Okay.
And they've done exactly that. They even want to chase down Boomich. Oh god, he has an MP9, guys. Okay, they deal with it cleanly this time.
Oh, they popped out of nowhere in middle, chasing down Sundar Young, and well, Cloud9 will. 10-6. Full eco out of the way, and now Cloud9. Oh, their money is ugly. Just as a result of, you know, the second round being a 1v1, they had to put everything in to barely get a 2 rifles. And 1 full eco will not cut the mustard, Harry.
This is why those 2 4 spies were so good. You know that if you do break through, Cloud9 are faced with that awkward decision. Do they force in that previous round? And then if they lose it, they're not rifling till the game is basically over. Or do they take the full eco? And then they have a pretty rough, you know, buy round between them and this game slipping away.
Oh, that is... seeing that from Warrow's POV was like Benny Hill music, running behind the rock. Boomich completely unknown about. And of course the MP9 rushing long, because that's all Boomich is doing right now, and it's working. Fantastic opening kill for Cloud9 in a must-win round.
Boomich is like, man, why are we worried about having an AWPer? I'll just play this all of the time. This is great.
It's working.
He's risen to top of his team. And it's all on the back of this MP9. He's at, what, 5 kills with it in this CT side already?
It's not even just the kills. The round where he hid in the smoke as well.
Oh, no, he's made some great plays on the back of the SMGs.
We love an MP9. Run and gun game, they say. And look at this B setup. Classic electronic smoke on the left side of the site to give them some room. Gotta play behind barrels.
Ooh, I think we're getting a bit of deception here, Hugo. Monte, I've said, right, like how they've been quite straight up with where they're going. It's like wherever you see the first one, that's where they end. This time, that bomb was rotating out. The round's kind of been ruined now, thanks to that kill out through short. And with only 25 seconds, decisions have to be made, and so it will come back down to this play.
Jump up?
Jump up is a little awkward, but we won't talk about it yet. Electronic feeds one. Will that be enough for them to come and regret it? 15 seconds. Arbiters to hop on down in the water. This should allow a plant for Monte. Gonna smoke the site. Krasnal just looking to plant inside of it. Jumping MP9. Boomich tries to be the hero again, but this time it's just that one and done at the start. And now for Cloud9, they need this. They have to hold on here. This was all their money put into this round, and so if it comes up short, if we're left wanting, Monte are on their way to the finish line, and there's nothing for Cloud9 to stop them with.
Oh dear, Axel might have to save unless Perfecto gets a pick, and they're playing so passive. He's looking for an upgrade so he can run away, and that is a done round, dead in the water. Boomich tries, as he always has been, with the jumping MP9, but SDY is the hero of the round. 2 massive covering kills to stop Cloud9 from denying that bomb plant, and that was in the final few seconds of the round as well. So it goes off, and Monte go in with 11. Already a better T-side than we've seen from this team, already matching their whole BO3 up against Gamer Legion yesterday. So sky's the limit right now for Monte. A new day, and they are seizing this opportunity. 11-6. And Cloud9, I mean, they should eco, but it's the scoreline that will make the decision. And so I expect to see a fall by just round these saved weapons. What a sad way for it to go for C9. But Monte, a better look is a good sign.
Yeah, and I think a much-needed confidence booster, right? Like, if it had been the case that Cloud9 had won the pistol, won that follow-up round versus the rifles, Monte had then tried forcing again, and Cloud9 withstood it. I think if you're Monte, like, you probably would have been getting in your heads a bit, right? Like, the game would have been neck and neck. You would have had another flat start to the T side, but instead, it's not just that you kind of had the confidence to keep going for those forces, knowing that it could just win you the game. It's like getting the kind of vindication, like it all panned out the way that you wanted it to. You can do it on these T sides. And so that little reminder going to put a bit more pep in the step of Monte.
There's definitely conversations about economy and MR12 and how it needs changing, especially for the CT side, 1400 being abolished. And I agree with all of those, but Monte, what they've done...
I agree with all of them.
Yeah, I agree with it. Yeah, I think 1400 should be abolished on CT side especially. But despite that, Monte have abused the economy to their favor. Cloud9 have not had more than 3 rifles in any round of this CT side. And this is another example. 2 M4s, both saved, supplemented by MP9. So the money just hasn't been there. And that's why Monte have gone for these rebuys after rebuys, where they've kept the pressure on. Why you see someone like James always have a hero AK on one of his players in a full eco, because the value that damage does to CT economy is so hard to withstand. They flash peek, but Bro sees it coming, and he hits that fantastic headshot. He has been a monster in this map. And look at this, 40 seconds, 1 smoke on the entire team. Perfecto, he's got it in the right place to block B right now, and he's even holding it for a few more seconds. This might force Monte to rush through a smoke with seconds to spare. It goes into Monster. That's where the bomb is right now. So it's actually, C9 have a chance, but they've only got 2 players here.
They still have this nade on Sunday Young, but it's really hard to clear the monster smoke when it's deep like that, right? Volumetric smokes, am I right, folks? Here we are, Boomich in mid. Gonna get out with 1. Perfecto. Just buying more time, and it's time that Cloud9 desperately need. There just isn't a chance for Monte here. They're trapped in it short, and even if they find Perfecto now...
What are they doing?
Oh, they really needed to just go and chase this down. He wins it on the clock. They do all the damage at least, so if you're looking for kind of silver linings here for Monte, it's that CT money that we spent all round talking about. It's still down in the dirt with all 5 players falling. The task for Cloud9 is actually harder in this round than it was in the last.
Silver linings, yeah. That's weird to not see Monte chase down Perfecto. I'm sure they didn't expect to get given both flank kills, but C9 died to win the round. It's worth it overall just to keep themselves against map point. But I would love to see one player just rush Perfecto down and you know, try and...
I mean, you definitely feel like there was the way in there, right? Like, you kind of have, what, like 6 seconds? I know that's not a lot of time, or so I've been told, but, like, he's trapped in behind the pillar. Warro's holding it. Like, if he holds it from short, rather, on the AWP, and then you have someone just kind of running at him, you could displace him, you could have won that, but regardless...
It's just a hectic round, and they're killing flank players as well. Of course, it's easy to look at after because Warro gets the AWP shots off, but, like, if he doesn't get those kills, Perfecto's position doesn't matter. So, yeah, it's all coming down to seconds to spare. But you know what really wins that round for Cloud9? That monster smoke at 30 seconds, because it forces Monte all through short into the flank, and then they can't kill Perfecto in time. So, utility matters. Oh, Cloud9 have not been able to get comfortable on this entire half, despite winning the pistol and even getting rid of the first Monte force.
Yeah, for a team of 5 rifles to have never been allowed rifles is almost ironic.
Yeah. Boomich, the dedicated SMG player of this roster. Just the in-game leader life. You know what they need right now, Harry? A diversion.
Yeah. Well, Axal and Boomich are playing pushed up over towards the front of Bath, and Axal has the shadow there for that first engagement. They want to try and trade this, but Axal holds the line. Boomich now here to assist, and they learn about this little kind of mini toilet setup. Bait and switch. Sure, it doesn't net you the man advantage. Boomich doesn't get that follow-up kill, but it does shut down this aggression over towards A. This walk up through short from Hobbit. Oh, the rest of Monte are moving out down towards B. Krasnal could get rewarded for his patience here. Oh, it goes the other way. Okay, it's down to the 2-man B hole. Perfecto holds the line, and Warro, he's joining there. Look, man, he's picked up the MP9, chasing them down, and he will get overwhelmed.
Come on, MP9 versus Boomich. You don't beat him at his own game. He's going to win that fight. I don't know how Hobbit gets that kill in middle as well. That was crazy. As they're hitting B, wins an MP9v rifle fight, and good check on the balloons. It's going to be Cloud9. Somehow still in this game, honestly. Would have been easy to write them off with how this half not began, but went, we'll say. And right now, Cloud9 are looking for 9 as Monte are finally taking a breather.
Yeah, these are the sort of buys that the devs were talking about earlier on, right? Monte leaning heavy into the Deegs, only have a few pieces of util. In these sorts of rounds, you have to have a game plan. You've still got to look to inflict maximum damage. You're not going to keep Cloud9 on the back foot for long if you let them build up money. So one of these smokes used early. Now it's down to a single smoke for Monte.
This probably is one of the better maps to play Deagle over Tech9 just for the argument of range, but yeah, Tech9, Flash, go through the monster smoke. There's a lot of potential in those kind of rounds. Oh, Boomich.
This is good. They've kind of circumvented Boomich, leaving only Axal. He gets dinked immediately, but not for much. And he'll even drop in this smoke. Goes back in for more. Some die young, out from long. That's because Boomich leaves the angle and comes in for the backstab. He's just harassing. Bro is dropped out of the round, and so it's only SDY.
Did Boomich like trade positions in that toilet smoke with SDY? Is that how he got there? Because Boomich comes in through toilet. As SDY takes long. Feel like we had a bit of a timing there. It won't matter.
Eagle and a dream. Let's see if SDY can do it. Hypnotic on the Deagle. Gonna have to be Hypnotic in the play. Gotta leave us mesmerized. And with 2 players just bearing down on this position. and the backstab coming in. He should be a dead man on this first swing. He'll get dropped out of it, and it's Boomich's jumping MP9 to close. The gap is tightening, right? What was once a big old lead for Monte, one where they had Cloud9 on the back foot economically, is now starting to dwindle. That's 3 in a row for the Cloud9 squad, and they've come a long way from that, you know, full death. But round one, they've started to keep players alive. They've started to find some money here. And so for the first time, I think, on this CT side, it's 5 rifles for Cloud9.
Round of applause. It only took forever. Everyone armed, everyone dangerous, and the most important round of the game yet. Monte trying to find map point on their opponent's pick, and Cloud9 trying to withstand on this CT side. Demka looks early for an opener. Cloud9 heavy B. We've got a flash set up as well to pop a monster for Perfecto and Electronic to peek together. Cloud9 playing things by the books. And Monte will leave Demka here to lurk as they go back up top. Axel's reaggressed long in the meantime. And Boomich is spotting with an A4 from the site. Oh, I love the walk up into A for Monte. Demka needs to play before them, and he feels like he has the timing. He feels like he has a bit of room. That molly's a problem. So's the headshot. Demka lands it. That's going to cause rotations perhaps for C9. Boomich drops down below. Perfect time for Monte to go.
Yeah, I mean, one of the strengths, right, of these execs often being very transparent for Monte is now that they throw a bit of trickery, and you can see how Cloud9 have just fallen for a hook, line, and sinker, right? That kill comes out down towards B. Suddenly the double A hold is just dismantled, and they only learn now that the site has been taken. Boomich spamming, trying to draw some attention away from Axel, who's pushed up at long, hidden in this corner right now. They actually did just check it. We saw Demka take a swing down through long.
Oh.
Now he learns about Axel the hard way, and this one falls into a 4v4 retake for Cloud9. Even though this is their first round with 5 rifles, it could end up being their last. If they come up short here, Monte move onto map point, and the money is broken. So this is a real swing round. Cloud9 need this, and they're getting all the openers. Waro 2K, he's helped lead the team to victory throughout this one, and with him and Some Die Young battling back, Monte look to lock in 12. Cloud9 are sent packing, and everyone's gonna fall to this bomb.
Oh, they get so hungry for the kills there, but they didn't know 2 players of Monte were in the toilet. That's a truck plant. That's a free defuse for Cloud9 in the 4-on-2, but they go in for the gunfights, and it lets them down completely. No kit on the remaining couple of players. And the pandemonium comes up in favor of Monte. What a robbery of a round for Waro and SDY in a 2-on-4. A nice attempt at a retake for Cloud9, but their 1 rifle round will be exactly that, just 1. Back to an M4 and a FAMAS, and the best chance Monte will get to close this first map.
Solo aggression over at short.
Ooh.
Perfecto on the re-smoke, and just in time as well.
This is an easy kill for Electronic. They're not even gonna... Oh! Nice.
Boomich is CZ.
Okay.
Doesn't matter what you give him, it feels like he's good for something here is Boomich. And so this round, the one that was meant to be easy for Monte, their best chance to close out this game is off to a really dire start.
Oh, Boomich is hanging around. He scared her up long already through toilets, but they're looking to fight him here. 1 more would be just incredible, but they should be able to find him on the close position. Kras now with the clear. Get that gun out of here.
That was the bomb spotted too, so a bit of a rotate triggered for Cloud9 as they pad out this top site a little more. MP9 up close on the back of Hobbit. 30 seconds, so flash is good. Gonna net that kill for Bro. not super clean. 20 seconds left. This one really down to the wire. And now that you've seen them still carrying on, you've seen the flash out of Krasnal, you know he had the bomb. Cloud9 start to pull everyone over towards this top site. 2 players up here right now and a crossfire set up between Truck and Dice. There just shouldn't be time for Monte in this round, and Perfecto makes it happen. 2 kills from him, 2 from Electronic, both those players starting down at B, and they end those rounds up on A. Cloud9 lock in double digits. They are back to success on these SMG low econ rounds.
Nothing's easy for Monte nowadays, it turns out. Cannot get a clean close with a great opportunity. They have to take a full eco, man. They have to play for every single round of regulation. Cloud9, 4 rifles as well. It's just about keeping it clean, right? If anything, you know what has been maybe the best part for Cloud9, Harry? They've never had enough money to buy the AWP. That might be to their benefit. Fast out long, or rather mid. Glocks trading, or trying. And Cloud9 put distance.
No head armor on Axel. You hope he doesn't pay the price for that. Big Boom is here and will just run away with it. Oh, actually no. The head armor thing does come back to haunt them. Guns now picked up over at long. Monte can look to milk this a hell of a lot more all of a sudden, because as we've kind of, you know, we won't shut up about it, man. Like, we keep talking about the money because this has been a huge factor of this game, and Monte have a great chance to inflict damage again here, thanks to these 2 kills being gifted the way of the Glocks. If they could get out of this round with even, you know, 1 more kill, that's fantastic heading into the final round of regulation.
They're fine. Whatever happens, Monte can buy. But can they win this round out of nowhere? With no health on Morrow, with no nades. And with Cloud9 making a very hard gamble, but they trust in Perfecto, the top performer alive on that B site. It's going to be Monte creeping into the crossfire. This setup looks good.
Yeah, are we going to take contact, draw the attention away, and allow this swing out of Electronic just to lock it in, but they go peeking ahead of that. Once again, it's a final 10-second push that's silenced by Cloud9, but that was just Glocks. We weren't meant to get excited about that round.
I would love a pause here for Monte. If they have any remaining, just have a breather. Yeah, they will call out their final tactical. You get 1 more going into overtime anyway. Not that they want to go there, but this pause will help them from avoiding that completely. It's all been about late game recovery in this map of overpass for both teams in both halves. But who will stand tall at the end of regulation? 24 rounds deep. Warriors AWP is out. And focus faces for Monte. It's nice to have a round finally where no one is, you know, scrapping for weaponry. I mean, everyone has everything.
Everyone has weapons, but Monte are lacking a little in the util department.
Got to make it work. No excuses here. They've had ample chances. They've had their easy rounds gone.
Oh, I kind of like this already. It's a real pace change from Monte. All of these rounds have been, you know, final kind of 10, 15-second pushes for the most part. This one is far more decisive.
Saw it.
Boomage gets the info. These nades have done great damage. 1 into Park early on, and then another one down the long side. Already Bro and Sumdai Young are really wounded on the back of this util. Spam damage even connecting out of Axel. And so Monte might have headed into this one with a bit of a furious pace behind them. It certainly helped get the util out of Cloud9.
Yeah, they wanted to rush this, but blocked completely in this round is ruining it for Monte. Still, Cloud9 don't want to risk a gamble too heavily. 3 players on upper.
There's not much more like blocking util left for Cloud9, right? They got this 1 smoke on Electronic, but he's all the way down at B, and he kind of needs to hold on for that in case Monte drop back down.
Flash forces the AWP to shoot, so you know Monte at 40 seconds are still AWPing long. This should be clear to Cloud9 right now. They won't get aggressive. They're not going to risk it. Axel moves forward, and Demka's patiently waiting on short side. Monte with a 5v4, their best bet yet.
Well, Electronic trying to make a big play down here towards B. He's confirmed and freed up an extra player to go and help that top site. That will leave him a long way away from the action, so right now he's hoping his teammates can withstand this hit, but Hobbit caught in the open, Boomich dead on the short side. It's all coming unraveled, and this flank is heard. Demka closes it with a tap, and so it takes all of regulation, but it will be Monte closing this one out, spearheaded with some strong performances from Waro 2K and Bro to help uplift them and get them through. They steal away Cloud9's map.
Yeah, a reassuring look on T sides as well today, right? The force back and forth for Monte, 5 T rounds at the end of it on Overpass. Cloud9 go down to Mirage.
Scruffy CS, but it will still be a dark day for Cloud9 because they've just lost their map pick in an elimination game here at Intel Extreme Masters Katowice. This was all to play for, and they needed this desperately. They've made it a little bit tougher for themselves. Some legends in the mix that you've seen on the Hall of Heroes, and they are now going to have to step on up because Monte has finally woken up. To be fair though, Maui, looks a little bit like they have some sleep in their eyes, but they did the job.
I feel like Monte maybe not the fastest start. I mean, they were down 4-0, but then they just won 8 straight there. And I feel like at that point, they were cooking. They felt really confident in this. They looked at the game footage yesterday and said, you know what, actually, I don't think we have to change too much because this T-side's going to be a lot easier than it was against Gamer Legion.
Yeah, I think they had a cold start, as I like to, as I hear you say. You know, a little cold start. I was getting a little nervous when I saw that, actually. Like, the first gun round, it was like 4-0 down, and they just had not the greatest start to the round. It's just like, okay, are you going to hit your shots? It was an aggressive 4-man A control. They had one long, they had, like, connector control, they had mid control, and they go to fight together, and they just are not hitting their shots.
They
and
just
I'm like,
whiffed.
oh, they just whiffed.
Yeah, they just whiffed.
And I'm just like, okay, is this going to be a really bad half? And then they started stringing rounds together, and then even the later in the half, they're getting onto like round 9, for example, and all the rounds that you think, oh, they've got this in the bag, it's just a mess.
Mm-hmm.
They're not. They have the man advantage at the start, and then they're walk pushing around. They get taken out. It's a 4-on-4, and then you're like, oh, okay, well, they still have good positioning, and it comes all the way down to like a 1 versus 2. So we're going to see that round right here. Woro actually getting one of the only like few op kills in the entire game, and then it's just like, okay, they're slowly working around. They don't really have any explosive plays. Oh, look, SDY just walks straight into the crosshairs. Cool. Okay, so we're going. And then like as this comes up here, it's just like such a back and forth. All the kills are so quick together. It looks like people just weren't on yet. They hadn't woken up, like you said.
I feel like for Overpass especially is a map where it feels like things can feel a little stringy, and so I think that's really highlighted by the fact that when we watch a clip like that, like just the coordination in this game in the beginning, like both teams were getting settled into it. I feel like that's going to happen in maybe a higher pressure match like this one, where these guys came into a pretty clear game plan, but it's just not going perfectly for anybody, and so I would almost describe some of the rounds in the first half as scrappy.
Well, that was the thing, because for me, I saw Monte yesterday, and they didn't come alive on the server at all. So when this started, that was my thing. I'm like, oh, they're still sleeping, but there was some sort of espresso or whatever it is that people need to do to wake up in the morning, because once they started, it looked good, and that is actually going to lead us into our United States Air Force Aim High Player of the Match, Bro, from Monte, getting in the necessary shots he needed and doing a damn good job of it.
Bro was instrumental in a few of the B defenses that Monte were able to put together. We see obviously him in different spots than I just mentioned to supplement my point. Obviously, no, but obviously he was taking some good shots, good aim. I feel like Bro's been a guy that in the replacement process for Boros that Monte have had to undergo, he's just a much more stable force for them, and frequently they just kind of throw him to an anchor position and you don't really have to worry about him, which has been great. He hasn't really been that superstar for him. In fact, I think in the past 3 months he has been their lowest rated player. So for him to have a nice kind of rifle v rifle duel against a team like Cloud9 and be succeeding this frequently, that's a really good sign for him and his progress.
I was going to make a really dumb joke about just dropping an O from Boros and you get Bro. But
there is something about you could switch the letters up somehow.
But it was the second half that was just like interesting to me. I was thinking at 10-7, like, oh my god, this is going to go overtime, isn't it?
You said that out loud.
I said that out loud, and we almost got there. It was really close, and the reason why I was saying that was like, we're not seeing this op on the CT side. And I know it's like beating a dead horse at this point, but at the same time, the way that Monte was just walking around, shift walking around, and then on the other side of that, Cloud9, it's not like they were holding their setups and they were playing together where they were getting trades. They were walking out into places to get info, and they were getting punished for it, where they would have a man advantage or a positional advantage, and if they just wait 3 more seconds, 5 more seconds, they're chill. But because they don't have that deep line somewhere, they have to get a little bit curious for information. They got punished for that curiosity, and then the next thing you know is Monte's able to do the slow play. But if you walk around everywhere and an op is posted up, you just die. You don't get to do that. So Monte just stealing candy from a baby at this point.
I feel like we, of course, are bringing up that same conversation again and again about the op. But I feel like I'm just watching the same game over and over again when I'm watching Cloud9. The way that they fail, like Steel mentions, it's like everybody can just kind of walk against them, and they know these rifle plays are going to come out. Like, they have to do something aggressive. They have to get this information because they don't have any clearly favorable fight for them without an AWP presence. And so this is what happens. Like Monte's T-side today, between what they did against Gamer Legion, where they got 0 T-side rounds, versus today, I didn't actually see any real improvement. I just saw that they weren't up against an op.
Yeah.
Here's the thing, the AWP conversation, and again, we've said it, it is beating the dead horse. It is going on and on, but they're not changing anything. You mentioned there. And Cloud9, they've said that they're not getting an AWP anytime soon. This is how they're going to play. That's great, boys. They can't keep playing like this, though, Maui. So what do they have to do differently to make this work? Because I don't think they even know at this point.
Timings, I would say. I feel like in late round situations, I actually kind of like Cloud9 a lot. I feel like when they're playing on each other in like a 3-on-3 around a bomb site, their fundamentals are really apparent. It's really clear that they know who should be playing off of who should be getting first contact, with really strong rifle work on top of that. But it's just that they always, because you can't really just sit back and just pray that the round is always like a tense situation like that, they're just not finding themselves deep enough into rounds in those favorable situations, or even situations where they have a good good chance because, yeah, they'll go for a little molly play towards short water control because they just need something because they don't know what's happening across the map. That's my big problem with them. They don't know what's happening. Boomich has tried to alleviate that problem with an MP9. He's like just kind of dancing everywhere. But I feel like Overpass is a map where I like their T side usually, but it's just that the reason the map is good on the CT side is because of snipers.
But also, like, when we talk about, oh, they need an opera, it's like, if anyone purchased one, it would be a different story.
They didn't even get one.
They didn't even get one. That's one of the things. Another thing is, like, when you talk about operators, like, what is an operator? It's like, they are people that use the weapon a lot, so they're proficient at it. They know the good angles to peek. They have, like, all the little things about it done. They have their scope sensitivity all good. But part of it is managing your economy so that you can actually whip it out. And if you don't manage your economy properly, so instead of getting the M4 armor, smoke on around, you go for the MP9 and maybe you don't even get nades, and then you can go and farm against ecos, or you have someone drop you an MP9 so you can go farm ecos, and you budget so that you can afford one. If any of them on the roster did that, we'd be looking at potentially overtime, potentially a Cloud9 win. But because nobody's even got that in mind, that means that they will play halves without it, and without that deep line, they have to do something different. So if they can't have map control, that's what happens when you have an operator, especially on Overpass, is you can be like, okay, you're here with an op, cool, we can go stack this other site. They either come into your op or they come into our stack. But without that, then they move around way more and they split up, separate, and that's where we see them losing first bloods or over committing or overcompensating to certain info plays.
That was super interesting. And if you're a Counter-Strike player, you hopefully learned something there because we got a really deep dive. Still, I've heard so much about having you on a desk. That was rad, man. I'm pretty stoked that this is the first time when we got to have that much insight into what Cloud9 can possibly change up. I want to talk a bit about the map that we're moving on to, but before we do that, Banks actually ran outside to just get a catch-up with the teams. Let's find out what they told him.
Well, the game has ended. They're rolling on through, and the Monte guys did manage to get some T rounds, which is a big help. I was just talking to LMBT, the coach there, and I will say that when it comes to the full focus of this team, he was kind of memeing a bit. He was kind of joking around how well they were doing, but he did say, even on Mirage, we still don't know our map pool. We still don't know how this is going to go, so it's not out yet. It's not over just yet. So it's all up in the air. They're just happy they won a map. But that kind of sets the tone for the whole game, I think. Let's see what happens on Mirage.
Let's see what happens on Mirage. How do we think that this is going to go down?
I imagine Monte win the series here, actually. I thought that Cloud9, I really thought Cloud9 kind of had to win Overpass because their Mirage has been pretty bad, Cloud9 that is. They've lost to Mouse yesterday. They lost to Rebels to open up the play-in stage, which was one of the biggest upsets on day one. And the reason that they're having so much difficulty, guess what? It's because they don't have a great sniper. Perfecto is okay on this map with it, but he doesn't really move into the spots necessarily to find the most impact with the weapon. He's a little bit more static. Wherever he starts the round, that's usually where he's going to end the round. And so it's obviously such a far cry from seeing people like when some of these guys were playing with Shiro, playing with Simple, obviously, where they were so mobile, able to dictate what's going on the defense. And I feel like Monte, who's a team that loves walking around taking rifle duels, oh, they were going to welcome all the rifle duels that Cloud9 are going to present them on this map.
And with Monte looking better on their CT sides, I think like what we look at is, okay, how is the T side going to play out on this Mirage game? And it's like, well, Mirage is a map where it's easy to connect with the rest of your team. You can connect through middle or underpass, and you can connect in 4 different ways. So when we see the mid-round situations where they start walking around and they're really slow and they're not doing any explosive things, that actually kind of works on Mirage to a degree because you can get into some of these lurk positions and you can do some push and pull and you can do these kind of like, you go up in this area and you stop and you kind of siege the area first. You don't just full commit right away. And I think that style can play out really well, especially with, you know, how Cloud9's been walking around in these mid to late rounds on their CT side, just one person walking this way for info, that person walking that way. They can walk and get punished in these traps, basically.
Thank you so much, gents, for weighing in. And if you're watching at home, North American analysts, by the way, make sure that you're here for the next breakdown that they do, because it is actually super informative as well as entertaining. We are going to take a quick break, and then we're going to find something even more entertaining, because it will be Mirage, and it'll be Cloud9 up against Monte.
Welcome, my friends, to the Cathedral of Counter-Strike! Elevated level up, way to the top, headed to the peak. All them boys wanna talk, hit them out of love, but don't got
Smokes. You see a double smokes in the same place there. Simple just jumping casually into the side. Wait, what was that?
Never miss a play again.
Simple, that's not allowed. This is not FPL. This is a major. Finally.
With Face It Watch, you're in control. Switch between player POVs live and see the game through the eyes of any pro. Never miss a moment with replays. Relive each highlight on demand from all angles. Watch it, control it, face it.
Monte making up for their slow start yesterday. A map up now, heading into Mirage. One that has proven to be troublesome for Cloud9 here in Katowice. A loss to Rebels to open up their run in the play, and certainly does not inspire a lot of confidence. And for Monte, I think very important to highlight how well Bro and Waro2k were able to kind of rein in that last map. Right, we had a hot start from Demka in the opening game for Monte that then fell completely silent, especially on those T sides. But Bro was able to keep it going, and it felt like Waro kind of had his reins over the game as well.
Yeah, now even the desk predictions flipped, and understandably so, as we go to Mirage, Monte's pick, their second most played map of last year. It's second to Anubis, which is our decider of the series. Cloud9 going to try and drag us there, kicking and screaming and everything in between. Monte just want to eliminate them right now in the groups. Waro with a deagle in middle, dropped over by Bro, set up to succeed, but you don't get those window fights like you used to. And it's just jump spotting for Boomich. He'll get out of there scot-free, and they'll boost up instead. Boomich eyes on the prize. Demka dead on the lurk. They're not committing to the window boost, just ready to pop if needed is Bro. And meanwhile, Monte go back up Catwalk. They're all over the place. Deagle dead. Catwalk dead. Hobbit's hitting heads.
Yeah, one kill back the other way, but it doesn't inspire a lot of confidence for this pistol. Not yet. Krasnal able to tap out one. But it's kind of grinded to this really awkward halt for Monte. The only real estate they have is middle, and all the exit routes are covered. Ooh, Axal getting teed up. Doesn't peek on the back of that flash. Where do Monte want to go? 30 seconds left.
Anywhere.
They've got to pick a destination here. It's going to be up into the A site, up into this electronic dual Beretta.
Nice.
And he's tucked in, lying in wait over at Tetris. 20 seconds. They don't clear him. Bomb pulled, and that's Krasnal dead. Just Bro left standing. Cloud9, they're going to pick up a pistol here.
Yeah, it felt like overpass pistol for a moment where Monte were going to try and prioritize the bomb plant and just get that guaranteed force, but then they don't hunt electronic or plant, they go fight CT. They knew electronic was close A. He got that early kill, and that's just where we'll see him in a lot of these CT rounds. So, yeah, oversight there, not the end of the world. Cloud9 found those 2 opening kills, and that makes life very difficult for Monte. Full eco, and a nice, easy beginning to the map for Cloud9. I say they need it right now, with how overpass went. Ooh, Hobbit. Historically, one of the best A anchors when it came especially to the Gambit days. Perfecto alone at B. Here's them close. He won't force this. He will call for rotation. They jump out. Perfecto making it nice and easy here.
Axel even has them boxed in from top of middle. So at this point, Monte, they only have B to go to, and Cloud9 are very set up to deal with it. This one will not get exciting anytime soon. It's just a nice cleanup out of Cloud9. And they managed to keep 5 alive, which is actually pretty huge. There you go, mate. There's the context.
Thank you. You've tied it all back in.
I don't think I've done one of these for a while. Little report from the bathrooms, right?
Okay.
I overheard it was Bro talking to some guy young, and he was bigging up his Monster 3K from that last map where they pop through the monster smoke and he demolishes them. And it was just a very sweet moment overall. He was kind of telling him how cool it was. He said, yeah, it was all headshots, only headshots.
Oh, Bro's 3K spray down.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that's what I said.
Yeah, well, no, you said it was Bro bigging up STY, but
yeah, like
the other way around. Well, report from the bathroom break over, and it's Boomich breaking hearts. Bro dead. Got a 1-for-1 though. Monte in the middle, and Hobbit all the way around. Is he going to go T-spawn or ramp? This guarantees a kill, but the alternative was the bomb. That is being picked up right now though. Demka doesn't know it. He's dead. Do you knife this, Harry?
Well, Hobbit won't, surely. Oh. He's just going to milk it for as many as he can.
Oh my god, this is such a good... He's waiting.
Oh, Hobbit.
Yeah.
Brain them! Deals with them both. That's the bomb. And there's the arm scene for Perfecto. Lovely trigger discipline out of Hobbit. To go for that is wild, but...
Jump as well. Like, the jump is very audible in CS2. It feels like you can't make those sneaky plays as much. So Demka doesn't hear it over, presumably, communication. And the bomb just joins in on that ramp setup. That's a disastrous way to lose the round. But a lovely flank for Hobbit puts Cloud9 3-0 up. Will Monte's T-side troubles re-emerge in map 2 of this series? I am jumping the gun.
Yeah, but I mean, you know, it's Cloud9 showing good knowledge kind of what they're up against, right? Monte'd like to go for these kind of just slower grouped plays. There's a lot of shifting around the map for this team, and sometimes there's gaps available. Hobbit's able to find one of them there.
Oh, it's so nice. Don't think he could have played it better.
This wild thing is, like, you know, you have no idea how he got there. You're thinking, like, did we not check that corner when we came up through ramp? No, we swear we did. In fact, like, we defo did. Where'd he come from? All right, then, Monte just down to a few pistols around the saved AK. Let's see if Waro is able to get something done with that. Gonna have a decent bit of util to work with. Cloud9 on the other end. everything they could ask for after how these first few rounds have gone. For the first time on their CT side, they've built up an economy early. So let's see if that can give them a bit of a backbone here to withstand some of these Monte rounds.
Yeah, and definitely will be eyes on Perfecto on the AWP, see if what Maui said comes to light, if there's any changes here, but has been underwhelming. It's probably one of the better maps, but not for now. It's rifles up in A, Hobbit holds for one. Pistols come surging into the site, smokes it down for Cloud9. It's only Axel who can fight here. But Warriors put that rifle to use, keeping the pressure on. Molly's going to delay the plant, or at least deny it for now. They're going to have to go hunting for kills, but these smokes, look at the bomb, it's going through. It's going through. Could it go B? Is there a way? Is there a chance? It's a high-risk play if Demka wants to make it happen. And no one's looking.
If you're Cloud9, you're fully anticipating they're just playing for the bomb plant here. Demka with the backstab. Oh, no. Still one more man inside of B. Perfecto never moves a muscle. He just drops anchor and posts up, waits for that bomb to rotate in. A nice idea from Monte. But Perfecto knows his job, doesn't rotate out of B until that bomb is spotted, until that bomb gets planted.
That's nice. Definitely seen some over-rotations in Katowice. Loro takes one shot, he will live it. Worth going for, but it's so difficult. Perfecto could be anywhere. And he's definitely going to get the audio cue as well, so unless Perfecto does something...
Yeah, he has all the health, all the info, none of which is available to Waro 2K. Everywhere could harbor this last man.
Got to try and plant safe. That's his only way. Read it, but it's too late. Perfecto comes in swinging. 4-0 for Cloud9. Great round for Perfecto. There deals with that big flank for Waro, or rather Demka coming through market.
Yeah, Monte are at least happy with how close they make that round, especially with more rifles to follow. So forcing a bit of money out of the Cloud9 ranks. Boomich gonna pick up the AWP.
Okay. It's Boomich now, big boom. It's, you know, often between these two players who will AWP, has felt somewhat map dependent. Maybe goes a bit too deep to break, and so Monte catch a breakout top middle. They just leave SDY there. It's a full default round for Monte, trying to ascertain what C9 want to do, if there's any of that Hobbit aggression, perhaps. And he tries close to ramp with electronic. Kraz now needs to be cautious. Smoke is not CSGO. Boomich can't look over it to underpass. Hobbit wins his, and Boomich also finds an AWP shot. So right now, Cloud9 just massacre Monte in middle. Only move they have is window. And that's being contained by Axel and Ladder.
Oh yes, Boomich. A second from that AWP.
It's a good look.
I feel like for one round, Monte should all just rip their shift keys off the keyboard.
Yeah.
They're making, like, you know, I think if you're Boomich and you got guys shifting around the corner, yeah, that's lovely. You love that as an AWPer.
Well, as Ades said, that's why Monte got away with so many of these walky plays on T-side last map, especially on Overpass, where you have long sight lines in Toilet, in Banana. And so Monte could just get to front A without Cloud9 having any information. Well, now that the money's no longer a problem, you would hope that Boomich can hold the line, and he did in this round. 2 AWP kills and a save for SDY. Terrifying.
He is scared, and all he hears those A1Ss firing off and puts the fear in him for a moment. Okay, this has been very flat for Monte to open up. And even saving that AK, sure, it's going to give them a bit more to fight with here, but causes you its own set of problems down the line if you don't find success on the partial. I want something a little more in your face, a little faster, a little quicker. Boomich, right place, right time on the AWP. Oh, I'm going to talk about the nade. All that matters is he gets that opening kill. There was no one that would have even been damaged by it, so nothing to say there. Samdai Young creeping up through mid, but this is the one gun. This is the AK, and if he falls here, gonna have a tough time retrieving it. So here they are, moving back around the map. Monte up and leave that B site once they see the AWP. Boomage staying relatively mobile. Has at least taken a different sideline to watch middle.
They're going to pop through this con smoke, but Boomage will have eyes on it.
There's another from the Boomage AWP. And that is the AK dropped out of the round, retrieved by Krasnal, who does gain some real estate over towards jungle. A swing kill there as Axile is dealt with. That opens up the route out through connector.
Electronics baiting for Hobbit just by making noise in CT. They have to be aware. You have to look at the name tags when you get kills here. Hobbit up close, Electronic can spawn, and they will get that trade off. Electronic can wait for the retake.
Krasnal getting teed up with a flash. He's got the bomb on his back, but he wins that fight. Boomage. Rug pulled from underneath him, but it's Electronic with the trade. Waro has a low HP player here, just hounds him down into the 1v1. Perfecto, the man left to beat. The man yet to fall in this map. Will this be his first death? He's creeping out. Good timing on the jungle push. Waits for that plant. Gets up close. And Waro is dead. Perfecto still yet to fall as he locks in a 6th round for Cloud9. And Boomage just saying, yo, go grab me that AWP. I'm having a fun time with it right now.
Yeah, I hope Boomage keeps going on, right, and not Perfecto right now, because I wondered, was the first one because Perfecto saved the AK and he just wanted to play it? Well, now we have an AWP, and hopefully it continues in the hands of Big Boom, who finds another double kill with the AW, and Perfecto saves the day in the clutch. That's what he's good for right now. Good awareness from Krasnal that after he gets that first deep pick CT, that's the rotation player off B, and that Electronic was the guy throwing the molly earlier. He goes for the clear. Waro does get a bomb down, which is something, but Perfecto positional advantage on top of that bin, and he puts Monte in the trap.
You see frustration setting in for Monte early on here. Samdai Young with just a little outburst. Some anger felt after how that last round goes. Boomage tries his hand at the opener, and this time Waro is there to greet him.
That wasn't flashed or anything. That wasn't set up by Cloud9. They just, he just goes off the rails, and Waro's waiting. An unlikely opening kill for Cloud9 without utility. And a B stack right now. They're making a read. I like the gamble. Trusting Hobbit, who has util to block on A. Even he is playing retake. Perfecto. Oh my. Oh! AK advantage. Comes up for Demka.
Cloud9 pad out the B site. It's really all they've got. That's a freebie onto Waro 2K. This one could still get out of hand.
Yeah.
It's by no means a done deal after these 2 kills going the way of Monte. They try to switch it back up. Bro had to win that fight. He really had to. That would have been the con route corrupted. Axile tries to move in and take up this position. Can have his work cut out for him. 1 kill for Axile. Bit more damage, but that's the end of the line. And Hobbit's been spotted down by the murder hole. Plant comes in, Hobbit rooting through the spawn. 2 of these players very low for Monte.
Oh, if he needed anywhere else, but it's the full health player.
Oh, so much damage done. Literally 10 HP the difference on that round. But it will be the first on the board for the Monte squad. Can they start chaining some together now? Samdai Young and Bro both on the board at the end of that one.
I want to know how many dinks went on between Electronic and Ladder and Bro and Con, because it felt like both players hit multiple headshots before that kill came in. And even though Axel has a really nice angle to catch them off guard on short side, they fight together. Monte trade out, and they're able to take a round. Close, but you'll take it. And now we have an A-pop.
Yeah, this is more up-tempo. This is that pace change, and Cloud9 are blindsided by it. Electronic out the stairs is just hounded down, chased by Bro over the stairwell, and so a save call comes in for Cloud9 immediately.
It's a lovely change of pace for Monte, who have been going, as you said, shift everywhere, all around the map. and now they just explode. You get 2 entries, there's nothing Cloud9 can do. Perfecto, a couple of kills here. Oh, but he takes the AWP out instead. Demka will save it. And even Axel's gun is not guaranteed into the follow-up round. I love that pace change from Monte. It was about time. It's hard to call when you're 6-0 down, when you're not winning anything. But if you come off the back of a round win by playing your slow, defaulty style, Cloud9 not prepared for an explosion into A. And there is a CS2 peak, even on LAN. No chance for Axel to react to that.
And there we go. The man who we saw throwing his hands around in aggravation earlier on is now getting a little more hyped up. Samdai Young, proud of how these last 2 rounds have gone. Happy with it. And they know how important that one was. Even the fact that they removed that saving player teased them up for more success here and now. Heavy A stack. And one that will be altogether avoided by Monte. So long as they stick to their guns, they wanted to go B at the start of this. They're changing their mind. They're changing their mind. They're going back over towards A.
Oh, me.
There's already a deep Palace player, an electronic, holding this line. Samdai Young knows they haven't had Palace, so has to clear all these angles. You see electronic there.
They learn from Hobbit. Not again. Potent position, but he needs to turn around eventually. 5-7 up close.
He's heard the steps now.
Yeah.
Deals with Samdai Young. Perfecto can't get out of there, however.
They're ready for a stack.
Oh, leg scene, arm scene. Finished off by Krasnal, and this one should just be the mop-up. Axel gonna get out with one over here in middle, but there shouldn't be any saving that AWP. He's gonna try root for it all the way around through top mid. Right now, that's the object of his desire. Can I get the AWP? That's what Axel's wondering. There it is. That's his end goal. But Monte won't let him have it. And so there's the 3-6. Cloud9, their eco round doing a little bit of damage, but never enough to get too exciting, even as Monte do root back round into the stack. And so they're going to call out a little timeout now.
Yeah, if Monte come back and win this map, for example, it would be impressive given that they've started every single game they've played on the back foot. It's felt like, with the exception of that first half of Overpass against Gamer Legion, it's been very difficult beginnings to every half for Monte. And even on the last map, remember it was 4-0 down. They get 8 rounds in a row. This is the same 6 up for Cloud9, but now Monte is starting to get into their groove, if you pardon the pun.
I mean, they just want to keep Cloud9 here, right? The longer you can bully this CT side, the better.
There's no AWP either now. What pace do we see from Monte? Have they read the economy right? You got to be expecting an AWP in a round like this, just in case. There's always a glass available. No one goes for it, though. Fast out under. More decisive mid-take here for Monte. But Cloud9 want to fight back. They've got a flash primed. Electronic swinging in off connector. Oh, with the break as well from Monte. Well, they break their own heart. Bro, bit of bowling here down under. And that smoke is very deep. That will give ways to peek into connector if Cloud9 want. AWP spot to shoulder. Moro can't get the guaranteed shot. The molly will actually push that player back. So once again, heavy on A, as Cloud9 have been most of this map. Monte yet to make their final decision. And it seems like Cloud9, who are playing this very smart 5-on-4, they don't want to give a kill over. They don't want to give away back into the round. If they're going to do it, they should do it as a team. And it seems like that is the move right now. 3 players pushing up catwalk. They leave Electronic to anchor. and they'll fight as a pair on short. It's a nice move for Cloud9. They're going to find Monte with solo mid if the B hit doesn't come through first.
Yeah, you still have Demka all the way over at ramp, and he's starting to gain some real estate. That bomb on Bro is going back, but he had to walk most of the way. So this is like a very down-to-the-wire sort of move out of Monte.
Oh, what a kill.
With Demka not winning that fight, this one should be done, honestly. There's 15 seconds. The bomb is now over in mid. They're going to have to just group up through the catwalk. Electronic, 1 kill on the right man could win in this round, and they're not ready for him here. A missed shot from Warrowzorp. And so time gets the better of Monte. They all end up falling, and Cloud9 given a 7th. A big 3K out of Electronic to make it happen, who stays very nimble across that round.
It's not the first time that not only, you know, 2 players in one position as one Cloud9 around, but also the player you're not expecting in that position. You kill Perfecto on catwalk with 15 seconds. You think B is open. That's the name value of, you know, knowing who anchors which site, coming back to bite Monte, because Electronic, who is, you know, the rotation player is, or the, you know, the con player is back in the B site as well. He'd pre-rotated to stack B. So nice mid-round move for Cloud9. And even though Monte catch a couple of kills there where it feels like they might be able to dig themselves out of that hole, Electronic drops that bomb. To be honest, if Warrow trades him there, he may have a plan. So it's very important that Warrow misses that shot. No, it's not his first miss in the series, to be honest. He's having some trouble on CT overpass as well.
I'll tell you what, it's made another appearance here for Cloud9. It is this AWP on Boomich, and he's using it to push up towards top mid. Good real estate taken for Cloud9 here as they start to piece together where this one could end up. That's going to bring Electronic back over the way just at the right moment. That smoke in Palace takes the wind out of the sails for Monte. They look like they might just want to come through this. Hobbit, good position to deal with the Palace play. 1 kill presented, 1 kill gained. Even tries his hand in the spam battle, but gets overwhelmed. Boomich is dead, and so's Electronic. The site taken from Monte. And even as that nade finds good damage, advantage lying with Monte right now. Molly at the stairs doesn't quite go off. Smoke was still down, but it's not going to give Axile a way back in. Just Perfecto now. Oftentimes great in these clutches. A 1v3 was laid out ahead of him, and he looks to give it a little look in, but that shot fired off from the AWP just might put the fear in Perfecto. Swing out from ramp, and the clutch is denied. He's cut down. Nice recovery from Sumdai Young as well, right? Yeah. Who I think only got his first kill, I want to say like 4 rounds ago.
How does Krasnell get out here through the edge of the smoke and find that spam kill? That's the difference maker. He has the bomb. Hobbit's in a position for 2 kills as they go through a smoke with no flash, or at least no effective flash for his position. And Krasnell gets out with the crucial trade and the plant. And look what that's done to Cloud9's buy. Shotgun, CZ, MP9. All over the place. And they do drop in under, and Monte actually don't take mid-spawn, so they don't know this, but it's paranoia-inducing to be stuck in this position. You want the peak, you want the info, and Boomich will find it.
Boomich has always been good for a kill in these rounds, but this one is going to be one that gets away from him. Not the best spot to be in with that CZ. Oh, they weren't ready for Axile, even though they hear him ticking the molly. They don't think he's going to be a mad lad and just go running through it, but he does. And he gets the reward. He's got the bomb right now, trapped at the back of apartments, hiding behind the TV is Demka. He can't wait here forever. And if he ever wants to rejoin his teammates in a B play, he would have to start making some moves. So a little awkward right now. Monte just hold and wait to see if Cloud9 give them anything.
They just need a pick. They need a refrag. They need Axile, but they think he's still up in the B side. He comes down under. What a reposition. He can flash his fight. Demka turns, and it's 2 for Axile. Then Electronic even activates. That's a beautiful play from Axile. We were waiting all series. He's been very quiet, but he shows up at a good time. Sumdai Young with the world on his shoulders, and Cloud9 high in the sky. 8-round CT side looking good on Mirage, a map they've had trouble with, but facing elimination show their best half yet.
Cloud9 lead the charge as they fight to stay alive here in Katowice. It's a pretty strong team effort here from the C9 squad. Electronic with some standout moments. Hobbit and Perfecto both finding their footing as well. And even some nice plays from Boomich on the AWP in the mix. For Monte, their slower T-sides let them down there. Just 4 rounds to their name. But we've seen it's the CT half where Monte have really been excelling here throughout the event. So let's see if that's going to be enough.
That is a reassuring factor. It's also a reassuring factor just to see Cloud9 actually competing in the first half, right? To see them go out with a whimper, I think would be a bit of a shame. It wouldn't be too far away from what we've seen from this roster. Underwhelming since its inception, with their best run really being their debut at Cologne last year, where they had Axel coming in just in time for the playoffs, Booster playing the group stage, and then obviously they fell in their opening round to Vitality. But yeah, for Cloud9, this is elimination. This is everything to play for. This is mere rounds away from going home empty-handed.
What you're telling me, Cloud9 need Booster. They need him back in the
Maybe, can he AWP? Not really.
No, mate, Boomich can.
I think it's crazy as well, considering I imagine there may be changes on the horizon for Cloud9 if they fall short here in this competition. But with the amount of CIS AWPing talent that we talk about over years of Counter-Strike, for them to not have anyone is kind of a shocker, to be honest. Obviously, they were going through other issues as well. Keep in mind the changing of in-game leaders was a whole factor. Electronic realizing after quite a while as an in-game leader back in Na'Vi and here in Cloud9 that actually, yeah, I play better when I'm not in that role, and we've certainly seen his rise in performance since he's given that up to Boomich. It's great to see Boomich back in the server. There's no doubt about that. I'm not calling for heads. I'm just looking for tails. And an AWP would be a nice story.
Yeah.
Cloud9.
Well, we'll stick a plug in that, Hugo, and we'll get ready to head in to this pistol. Monte, CT side. If they can find this pistol, they're off to the races. The comeback is back on. If Cloud9 pick it up, there's not much room for the Monte squad left in Mirage. Krasnal pushing on in, and he won't like what he finds here. All of Cloud9 wait around that corner, and they get delivered a double opener into this B site.
Wow. There shouldn't be a way to win this, right? Monte not going to get given the kills in kitchen. Cloud9 cooking. Oh. Hobbit can swing off of the market door contact. That's a spam for Bro. I don't think he even saw him. There's a second player in the corner, though. Trade is nice. Bro gets a double before he dies, and everyone else will fall as well. Cloud9 get 9. And Monte have to eco, so you're expecting double digits for Cloud9 as we get a quick technical timeout for the coach.
What does this mean, Hugo? If we go to Anubis, what happens there, mate?
That's actually where Cloud9 I think are favourites. Even though it's Monte's most played map of last year, they actually have a very good Anubis. A lot of that was with Boros in the first half and first half of the year, but coming into and including Paris and some of the madness he got up to in middle. Obviously, we've seen Monte still recover well from that, but Cloud9 that's been their home map, Anubis. And if they can win this game dominantly, which right now is setting up to be that with a pistol round, momentum. Monte breaking under the pressure. I think Cloud9 are suddenly favourites again on map 3.
Because I think a lot of us were looking at this, and the moment we see Monte, win that opening map of Overpass, it's like, yeah, we're going to Mirage next. They should be able to pick this up 2-0. And I mean, I know that was the sentiments over on the desk. Yeah, exactly. Cloud9 have looked pretty rough on this one.
Yeah.
And it's a nice map for the Monte squad, but
yeah, it just feels like for me, Monte have come into this tournament too cold and started too slow. Like that opening game, not to discount Gamer Legion, but Monte should be winning that on, if you're going off of last year's form. And obviously there's extenuating circumstances with Monte. They've talked extensively in that interview I recommend you read with mmmra about the lack of boot camp situation leading to that. And obviously that's going to make life a lot more difficult in such a hyper-competitive scene. But still, that's just how the cookie crumbles, Harry. Back to the bakery. Damn.
And we are right back. We are right back in. Well, talking bakery, no dough for either team here. They put it all on the line, have Monte with a force buy. We've seen them do this now in both CT second rounds. After falling down in the pistol. This time it comes more from, I guess, necessity, right? They just want to try and claw something back, an unexpected win over C9 with the force, but rough start as the double nades flush SDY out of ladder room. It's at least redeemed by Demka. Short is left open, and so Monte have got to bear that in mind. But 3 players here over towards the B site, primed and ready to go, even boosted up is Kraz now. They learn about him too late. Everyone else is beating him to the punch. But this one, the wheels are coming off the wagon. Cloud9 trying to regain some control. Everyone is wounded, everyone is hurting. And Monte lock down B with the triple lean there on that force buy. And that is their lifeline. That is their shot at redemption now left open. Not something you see many teams like to risk. Monte do take that risk, and it pays off for them.
Yeah, well, that is a part of the risk, is that you gamble and that you save if you're wrong, and it works out perfectly. 4 players on B if you count Sunday Young, and even though they lose the flank, which was going to make that B hit beautiful for Cloud9, they think, yeah, we've killed the ladder player. How many more could be there? Oh, everyone could be there. And 3 CTs lying in wait for Monte will find them that force buy round. A comeback is not out of the realms of possibility, but they've got to contain the rebuy back on this T side. Got some Tech 9s at least. Loads of util for Boomich. And smokes on all. All right, so Demka, the anchor man, alone versus the world. And with these smokes coming down, no one will really be able to help out. You can get some spam from Waro, but that should be it.
Oh, that's huge.
There's no stair smoke.
There isn't. It comes in really late, really late, and so it let Waro play into the round in a way that Cloud9 would have rather he didn't. Demka holds on from underneath Palace, even having to swap out of the sidearm, some smooth moves, keep him in it, and buy more than enough time for everyone else to pad out this site hold. Very well done from Monte to put a stop to that.
Yeah, LMBT giving him his props as well. Well done. You know, not just getting the opening kill off of Sunday Young's flash, you know, living, buying time, getting a second, flying around. That was nicely done for Demka. And Cloud9 full eco. I shouldn't be worried, but I am. I still am worried.
You're worried even in this round?
Not in this one. I'm worried for Cloud9.
Okay, right. Sorry, I didn't.
I'm worried they get 2-0'd.
Yeah, it's justifiable. I don't want to say it's not. It's like having a fear of roller coasters. Fair enough.
Yeah, most of them are fine.
But when they're not, they really ain't.
It only takes one.
Just a mow down up against the Glocks. I like Cloud9 for that. Just run at them.
Yeah.
You're not going to win it, so why take 2 minutes?
Look, on one hand, yes. On the other hand, tactically, it's
yeah, I know.
It's not the right play. You should try and burn out Monte's util. You should bore everyone watching. But maybe Cloud9 just want to get on with the game.
Yeah, exactly. They're showmen.
They want to fight. They want to play. They want to swing mid-dry. I grant them that right.
Smokes go over into middle. Bro with some, I was going to say smooth moves, but...
Some moves.
There were moves, but smooth they were not. Doesn't get into the ladder room like he wanted.
Smooth like my brain. No wrinkles. They say wrinkles are unattractive, Harry.
What do you think?
Goddamn wrinkle brains.
Right, look, man. Cloud9. I'm just going to retire this.
Yeah, please.
Cloud9, out through lower. I don't even know where to take it.
No.
It all goes slow. It all goes quiet here.
execute.
Going quietly. Not what Cloud9 want to do.
That molly tick is a problem because it just guarantees that Monte now know a player's going to lurk connector when these smokes come through. But there are 2 players. So let's say if Cloud9 bait each other, that might be their best play. Or boost window. Try and keep Monte guessing.
Some contact made over here in mid as Bro does get the info. There's 2 down towards those lower tunnels. Full exec out in a way in the meantime. Demka still waiting behind triple for the perfect time to strike. He gets out with 1 and a dink down range. Makes life a little easier for SDY. It's just the 1 and done. Plant coming in. Bro tries his hand at the spam, but can't quite deny it. Waro, similar attempt, similar results. That bomb goes down, and now they're left fighting for some control, but the CT fight doesn't go their way. Cloud9 are in danger of getting boxed in here. Even a tag finished off now from the pistol. The sidearm pulled. They learn about Hobbit down in connector. Bomb planted out in the open for him. Bro holds this, and Hobbit, that's a ballsy jump across. For Bro with no kit, this is awkward. And it's not really a round he can look for. He's going to go ahead and pick one up, tap on the bomb, but time is of the essence, and Hobbit just jumping around for these checks, confirms he's not on the bomb and wins it to the time. Beautifully done from the Cloud9 squad to make that happen, and everybody dies from Monte.
And it's exactly what we mentioned before the execute came in, right? The molly ticks, they hear someone take damage, and so Axel has to play, but I love that Hobbit doesn't join him. He lurks out under, he makes no noise, and he lets Axel look like the lurker in that round when it's actually Hobbit all along, who plays late, trades out that AWP kill, and wins the round from position. You know, there's no way Bro can actually win that. If he sticks the bomb, Hobbit swings him. If he goes for the fight, Hobbit jumps. It's LL situation. So, very well played from Hobbit. Experience play from Hobbit. 10-7, Cloud9 get their first gun round on the board. And that's a good start to the half. After losing to the Force in the second round. Oh, are they just gonna hit B? This position for Bro is the multi-kill one, right? It's with the jumping rifle. Bro gets 2 kills, and Cloud9 are in big trouble here. This is akin to how they played their second round. And it's going to start off poorly as well. Oh dear. Bro has moved though.
Yeah, he's hopped on down, but he's still going to be here to try withstand this B assault. First man in will deal with him. No kill off of that MP9. Waro, right place on the AWP, right time to strike. He knocks out Electronic and even goes back in for more. Waro 2K giving us something on this AWP. Bunch of missed shots today, but not in this round. It's the ace from Waro 2K. The captain puts him on his shoulders and locks in an 8th for Monte single-handedly on the back of that AWP.
He's so confident, right? He's trading every single kill onto the B site, and then with 3 to his name, he goes wide in the middle of the open and hits the reaction flick to Perfecto. He is feeling it. That's a beautiful round for Waro. Starts with a mid pick and finds every single B site player for Cloud9. And it felt like Cloud9 had a chance there, right? They got Bro off the boost with the molly. There were only 2 there, but Waro comes flying in as that rotation. Wow.
Cloud9 thinks, damn, that's what an AWP can do, I guess.
Oh dear.
Oh, I'm so scared that he was going to, oh, he is dropping it on the AWP, yeah. Okay. Okay, they're blocking each other, but he does it with the pistol, and it's all contained.
He's deserved those ecos. He's earned those ecos. An ace in a gun round.
Oh, this is more like it from Waro 2K. This was, man, when he came into the game yesterday, he was like really keen to get involved. And then whenever he did get the chance, it was like, oh, why were you so keen, you know? Like, it was just looking a little rough. But here we are in the second map, in a map where if Monte can take it, if they can snatch this one back, they knock out Cloud9.
Wow.
And Waro has stepped up massively. This is a good performance now from him across both maps. So very reassuring signs for the Monte squad. Cloud9 calling in their second tactical timeout. Will tactics save them from that Waro AWP? Because it's hungry. Had a lot of involvement across these last few rounds.
This was 9-4 for Cloud9, right? 8 on the half with a pistol. But not converting your pistols, well, you'll pay the price. Monte are right behind Cloud9. And I say right behind, well, they're ready to lap them here with a map in their pocket already. And if you're Monte, you don't want to go to Anubis. You don't want to find out what that third one has in store. They lose the look of being favorites that they came into as on Mirage. Electronic lurking under. Timing is good for him. They've just left this position, but Young is out in the open right now, trying to hunt. They're all looking, 3 players looking top mid. No one's looking under. Hello! Electronic just pops out, and he gets that kill, but the turn is swift. Hobbit inside of the smoke, stop at the orb, over the window smoke, and Monte, a man up as Cloud9 come pummeling into the site.
Flashes rain in. Waro on this angle, fast reposition on the AWP, nimble, but a couple of missed shots sail past Cloud9. Still the advantage resides with Monte, even with that bomb going down. Young is deep in, but it's Waro to beat him to the punch, and a clean round out of Monte. They keep 4 alive. The high fives are coming out now, or fist bumps, or somewhere in between, as that one gets a little bit awkward.
The fist fives, the high bumps, all of the above. And just as how Monte have 3 players all looking top mid, a massive oversight. Bro should be checking under there. He realizes too late. All of Cloud9 are looking at CT in the post bar because who is it but Waro drawing in their attention. And so Young just walks through the jungle smoke into A. Feeling confident is Young. And now we're even. The plant could facilitate a mishmash buy here where util would be lacking for Cloud9, but they've called out their final timeout, the final chat with Groove going into not even, you know, we got 4 rounds at least left. Or at most, rather, of regulation. So this is a pivotal moment for Cloud9. Groove needs to come in with something clutch. A coach that, while regarded at the top of his game, has certainly been drawn into more scrutiny as of late with the arguable mismanagement of this roster, and especially when it comes to tactics, with the changing of in-game leaders, with Cloud9 post-Nafany being mostly underwhelming. We got a half buy. I actually love this investment for Cloud9. They're going to go Hail Mary into the site.
Yeah, fast out ramp, and they're giving a good deal of respect here. Monte kind of set up for a retake over towards A. Demka floating around in the spawn, knocks out one. Young joins him in that. And the spam nearly connects. That blows the smoke open, and nice easy shot to Perfecto. Cloud9 are just getting crunched on here. It's chaos all around the site with smokes down. The MAC-10 trying to chirp to life, but board down low. Boomich gets finished off here. It's only electronic, and too many angles, too much responsibility.
Yeah,
they're getting loud now as Monte look to run away with this. 11-10. They pull ahead up into the lead from that 4-8 start on the half.
Demka's just screaming them down. He knows what that means as well. Monte, you say what you want. They've had great reads to CT side from that second round stack on the B-bomb site to this one as well. Heavy in middle against what they know is going to be either lacking util or lacking firepower. It's the latter for Cloud9. They play retake A, and man, they just lock that one out in the post plant. Sure, Cloud9, have your money, have your full buy, but you are facing 2 rounds from elimination.
And it's another aggressive stance over in mid for Monte. When you don't have to worry about this AWP on these long sight lines, the freedom is palpable, man. Monte keep running back these aggro mid setups, and even now moves are being made. Young creeping up through the lower tunnels. Hobbit is here lying in wait, and we'll get that one delivered to him. Oh, that's a big entry over towards B. They won't capitalize on it. They're not going to move straight in, but that will draw rotations around. Walking through that smoke, that little gap allowed Perfecto to check the site. And now he sits concealed from Bro back in the spawn. Oh, off the flick, has to go back to Palace and won't be able to land it. Demka, right place here as they move out through the lower tunnels. Hobbit, caught looking the wrong way. That one's free, out in top mid. I don't know if Electronic was spotted there, but if they saw him, they know they've got this 2v1 inside of the site. Axel gets the bomb planted. It's an open bomb plant as well, so the reroute back around towards ramp should do well for Cloud9. It is going to come down to Electronic in this clutch, but he's throwing util. They know where he is now. They know he's on the ramp ahead of the molly, already out onto the Tetris, but wider on the plot. What? That's a stray bullet if ever you've seen one, and it's going to let Electronic mop them all up in the clutch. That is madness. He seemed fated to win that. He was aiming nowhere near them.
Literally last bullet, just running on his counter strafe, and the RNG comes in clutch for Cloud9. It may save their tournament life. My, oh my. You'll take it. You will take it if you're Cloud9. It's all you've got. This game rages on. Overtime on the horizon. And this one's for map or match point. Or is smoked out of middle. He's been breaking this though. He's been fighting over the top. He'll do the same. They're already out. They swung behind the boxes and burrowed in. He hears them spamming. He knows mid is taken. Cloud9 catch a breath after a hectic previous round that almost gets robbed away.
Yeah, I mean, look, man, if all it takes for them to find a way back into this game is a stroke of luck,
make the most of it.
They really have to. They don't have a single smoke left on Cloud9. That is problematic. This is going to come down to a lot of dry fighting for the Cloud9 squad. And that means for Warrow, there's going to be a lot of open sight lines on this AWP.
Good molly. Very good molly, but they won't punish Krasno on the escape. The nade is even better as it catches his retreating position. Boomich gets up through the cat smoke. He's already found a bench pick. Oh my, he's making a lot of noise here, trying to sell this fake. The bomb's up in Palace.
Look at Monte.
Electronic is rotating out. They have 2 players on ramp. They're ready.
And even though, you know, you're going to check for SDY. You know you have an ab ramp. You're going to check for this first guy. Contact made out of Demka as well. So now they know about both these players in at ramp, but dealing with them is a whole different fact. Remember the fact that they don't have smokes here? Well, that's proven to be a problem. You could have just looked to smoke this off and have a route into the site. Instead, you're left fighting and chase down his Boomich. It's all eyes on Electronic, who's got to clutch again. 10 seconds. And so there simply isn't time here. Even as he gets that first, he will go no further. They give him one more fight in at the end, and it's just to rub salt in the wound there. Cloud9 brought to their knees in the final round of regulation. They've got nothing to play with.
That is a disastrous way to lose the round. Monte burrowed in on A, do not even consider a rotation. That's because they have everyone else at the B site. 2 tucked in A, 3 back B. So Boomich is killed, does nothing to force repositions, and rightly so. Monte hold, and they completely uproot Cloud9 on that A split. Warrow back to his tricks in window. Mollied out this time at least, but no one's even taking middle. They know that he's had a hell of a game on this map. Not missing a beat. Stay far away from this AWP coming up connector. Young got to be careful. They're already through the smoke. Ugly spray. Molotov's a problem. Axel must smoke it. He even misses it. They're out into the site. They're splitting from ramp as well. Demka's got to do another massive multi on the anchor.
Yeah, he's got some support from Warrow's AWP back in the spawn as well, but as the util reigns over, he's teed himself up behind triple. Won't take contact from Khan, instead swings this bomb plant, but can't quite deny it. Man advantage falls the way of Cloud9, and Hobbit goes chasing kills on the extremities, but he will fall out of the round. A 3v3 retake deciding the fate of this game. Krasnal creeps in very deep within the site, but not deeper than they're ready for. Shot nailed from Perfecto. Bro still so far removed. Worried about more players on the extremities. They're all here. Warrow's AWP chimes in with a kill. Can this be the turning point? He's got to get on the bomb. Electronic has won it with the spam before. This time it might let him down. Out of ammo, and Warrow has robbed them. 13-11 as Monte claim the 2-0, and they recover from that slow start yesterday. One of the biggest criticisms leveraged against this Cloud9 is the lack of the orb, and that shows up across this series. Great performance from Waro. The turning point here on Mirage coming from the back of his AWP ace at B, and he kept up appearances. For Cloud9, it's an earlier exit than they would have hoped, a tumultuous time in the play-in stage, and one that gets brought to a swift end in the groups.
Yeah, it's got to feel good for Monte. Cloud9 eliminated them in the same position back in Cologne group stages. Well, here in a new year in Katowice, it's Monte to send Cloud9 home early, and look at how much that means to them as well. It's got to feel good for Waro. Dem could get him very loud in this series as well. A statement win for Monte, and we'll have to see how they continue to fare as they warm into competition here at Katowice.
There you have it. Heroes in the hall, past legends are going home. Monte has woken up. They had a bit of a rough start yesterday, but they continue now here at Intel Extreme Masters Katowice. They are still in the group stages, and they will remain in the competition. This is the Monte we were waiting for. This is the Monte that we expected and that we saw last year. They always punch above their weight. They come in. They are the stone in the shoe of most big teams.
They're the plucky underdogs. That's how I would describe them. They actually really, not with the same win condition